Hi, Armcharies. It's Miniature Mouse here. I just wanted to add a little disclaimer to this episode. If you haven't heard, SAG-AFTRA has joined the strike. So it's a double strike now with the WGA, and it is important to say that we recorded this episode before SAG went on strike. So when we're talking about projects and everything we talk about, please note that we have since striked and some things have changed, but wanted to make that clear. Now let's on with the show.
Welcome to Armchair Expert. I'm Dan Shepard. I'm joined by Minister Mouse.
We're back in the attic again.
Back in the attic. And not only are we back in the attic, I mean, you'll start seeing it reflected in some of the episodes coming up, but the people that make our microphones, sure.
Yes.
They made us armchair microphones while I was gone. I came back into the attic and couldn't believe what I was seeing.
Yeah, it's a pop out. I saw it one day before you, but I didn't spoil it.
You didn't tip it. I'm really glad. But they have a yellow ring around it, our signature yellow. And then yours says
Miniature Mouse.
And Rob.
Wobby Wob.
And mine says Dan Rather, which means they listen, minimally they've had to listen to some.
Yeah, it's very sweet.
Or they asked you what to write
They
on.
did?
Rob, you could look at that. He's like Ryan. When Ryan's like, listen, I don't want you to hear about this. Hear about what?
Out. No. They reached out, though, and suggested.
So what would you like on it?
Yeah. Well,
what were they going to write? King of Conveyance for me?
They were just going to give one. And then I was like, well, get everyone mics.
Yeah.
Oh, that was nice.
And then they want to do like full design, but been too much.
Okay. All right. Well,
They really
color.
fucked up.
no, listen, hold on. I wanted to say thank you publicly. I love them so much.
They're
It's
incredible.
very exciting. Although, we like to smell these things.
Yeah, they're new smells.
They're brand
now.
new. Yeah.
No smell.
No
Restart.
smell. Yeah. Can't wait to add our signature smell to them. Today's guest is Kate Mara. You know Kate Mara from House of Cards, a teacher, Fantastic Four, Shooter, The Martian, American Horror Story, and of course on Black Mirror Beyond the Sea.
Yes.
Season. Which
again,
spoiler?
just a little reminder.
Oh, yes, pre-strike interview.
Recorded all of this pre-strike.
Yeah, she's not in trouble.
No, she is not.
This was a very fun. Most importantly for me, for my money, she loves chimps.
Yeah.
So that was fun to get to talk to another guest with the same kind of enthusiasm over pan troglodytes.
She's also done some kissing screen tests.
Oh, yes.
Which we get into a little bit.
I also
She's
enjoy
pretty
that.
fun.
Little kissy kiss. Please enjoy Kate Mara, or as her sister might say, Kate Mara.
He's an armchair expert. He's an armchair expert. He's an armchair expert.
How do you and Rob know each other? How are you guys old friends?
My best friend Mara, her husband.
You have
is
a best
in-
friend named Mara.
That's ridiculous.
That's ridiculous.
so stupid.
There's so much
So
goofy play
silly.
with Rooney and Mara, but we'll get into that. But okay, so your best friend's name's Mara.
Yes.
Ridiculous.
Her husband is in Local Natives, and that's how I know Rob.
Okay, wonderful.
Yeah.
They played our live show.
Yeah, I
and
remember. They're
very
fantastic.
popular.
They're awesome.
I brought you a gift. Those are your
Oh my
stepson's
God, from
Pokemon.
like 8 years ago.
4 years ago, we have had those Pokemon cards, and you wanted to know what made its way from the old house to the new house. Virtually nothing but those made it.
You know what? Kristen has said so many times, I'm keeping them safe. I didn't know it was like this.
There could be millions of dollars. Who knows what's happened in 4 years? Aren't those collectible?
I hope so. I'm going to sell them.
That might be a fortune right
That's
there.
so sweet. She's like, finally, I can get rid of these things.
Yeah, sayonara. Okay, your name is so interesting. And by the way, we did the same thing, I believe. So your name, Kate Rooney Mara.
Yeah. On my birth certificate, it's Kathleen Rooney Mara, but
Let's not get bogged down in that. But it is
nobody calls
Rooney.
me Kathleen.
But the Rooney's a middle name, correct? It's not a
Yes.
hyphenated.
Oh,
Yes.
no, I didn't know that. She stole your identity.
No, her middle name was
I-
also
I
Rooney.
know,
Right,
but
so-
still,
basically,
yeah.
she did.
So our girls are named Lincoln Bell Shepard
Yes.
and Delta Bell Shepard.
Yeah.
And I was really heartbroken to learn just last week I had to go watch her do her poetry reading in her class, 4th grade, end of the year. And she introduced herself as Lincoln Bell. And I was like, oh my God, it's already happened.
She
already
did?
ditched Shepard. Yeah.
Whoa.
I mean, I should have known that was going to happen. Lincoln Bell's a lot more appealing of a name than Lincoln Shepard.
So this is kind of a weird, you're probably going to want her number after I tell you this story. There's a numerologist
Okay.
that my friend is obsessed with and gave me a gift of an experience with this numerologist via Zoom. And she was very passionate about specifically what names you call your children. So my daughter's first name is Ripley. Her last name is
Believe
Bell.
it or not. I know, I had to.
Her middle name is
I
Mary.
mean, I don't know.
was
Someone
up for
had
the-
to.
someone
Sorry.
was gonna-
Someone was
was
going to
gonna.
say it. Yeah. Her middle name is Mara. And because every name has a specific number.
Because of the letters in
Yes.
it? Oh, okay.
And so she said, you have to call her by her full name or things.
The universe will implode.
This is why I
or
don't want to see
something,
someone like this. I don't
Voldemort
want
will
some-
She was basically like, she's either going to be really difficult. I was like, she's already really difficult in a great way.
Yeah.
She said, no, just trust me, call her by her full name. Like at school, it should say the full name, not just first and last. And then, but with my son, she was like, without the middle name is fine.
Well, what's interesting, so I would imagine her last name is Bell.
Yeah.
So
that's my
I've got
last
a
name
Bell.
too.
That's your last name. You changed
Me
your
and
last
Kristen
name.
have the same initials now.
right.
Yeah, it's K Bell.
Oh, my goodness.
I know.
Okay, well, that's nice. You wanted to show your husband how much you care about him.
I mean, really, I just wanted the same last name as my kids.
Okay. But I think what we did, from my point of view, I was like, well, they could potentially lose Shepard. I don't know how
Yeah.
traditional they'll be if they get married, if they'll want to take someone else's last
Right.
name. But you can't lose your middle name. So in a weird way, you're better off.
But I did lose
No, a
mine.
lot of people
I lost
do.
my Rooney was my middle name, and I lost it when I got married
They
because I kept
move-
Mara.
Right. You make your
What?
maiden name your
Yeah.
middle name. Most people lose their middle name.
Wait, why aren't you just Kate Rooney Mara Bell?
It's just too many
Or,
names.
just, or hold on,
So
it
many
should
names.
be Kate Rooney Bell.
No, she wanted
And get
to
rid of
keep
Mara?
her- Yeah, she wanted to keep.
I mean,
don't
that's your last
know.
name, is what where it was on the chopping block here, as I understood it.
I hear what you're saying.
Okay, my mother has had 16 last names for men. Middle names never change. It's Louise the whole ride.
I guess
LLL.
I fucked up. I should go back.
This
and
is curious. Okay, so your daughter's now in the same situation you were in, which is you have your mother's maiden name as a
Yes,
middle name.
exactly.
As does your sister.
Did. No,
Legally
legally
get-
her name is Rooney. So
Wait, no, I thought her.
now, yeah.
Well, now, but what was
Right.
it born? We got to start at the beginning.
Trisha.
Patricia, right?
Well, yeah, but no one calls her Patricia. People only called her Trisha.
I call her Patricia.
I can't handle the when Jamie and I were naming our kids, I was like, we're naming them what we're gonna call them. Get ready for Jamie's name.
Okay, hit me.
His real name or his birth name is Andrew James Matfin Bell.
Madfin is strong. Could you have gone with Mara Madfin? That woman is going to
but his
win
is a
all the
sla-
Academy
it's a
Awards.
slash.
Hyphen.
Hyphen is annoying.
Sure, but fuck Bell, Madfin.
I love that you don't like the last name Bell. It makes no sense.
No.
Well, now he hates it because Lincoln
It's
wants
this-
to go
Right,
by it.
right. Lincoln Bell's a great name, but Lincoln Shepard is also a
Yeah,
good
it is.
name.
Both are strong.
They're all, everything's groovy. Back to you. Since he had a hyphenated name, I feel like you could have chose either of the two names. And I'm only making a
I'm
case
just
that
trying to make
Mara
it sim-
Manfred, what was it?
Matfin.
Madfin.
No, it's too complicated. Yeah, get
Okay.
rid of it all.
Kate.
Thank you.
Kate.
Just call me Kate.
Did she hate Trisha?
I mean, obviously, she
I
did
mean,
if she changed her name, right?
right.
Or maybe the psychic said you have to change your
Oh
name.
my
I
God, I
don't know.
can't wait
I
to
don't
talk
like
to
that
the
the psychic
psychic.
told you that it would be bad luck to not refer to her as all of her names. That feels like it could become a kernel that becomes a self-fulfilling
Well, I
prophecy.
know. I
Yeah.
keep going around the house saying, "What's your full name?"
Has it affected you?
Totally.
Because look, I had no superstitions, and then I watched Drugstore Cowboy, that great movie you're too young to have seen, probably. Matt Dillon, did you see it?
No, but I'm not too young. I'm just saying.
But you didn't see it,
I
right?
didn't
So,
see it.
you know, if you were my age, you probably would have had to have seen
okay.
it. But at any rate, Matt Dillon has a superstition about hats on a bed. He's a criminal, so anytime someone has a hat on a bed, they're going to get caught. It gives me a pit in my stomach when I see a hat on a bed. It's ridiculous. I don't even
Yeah.
believe in God yet. That has affected me. So I know I'm a little susceptible to like a numerologist telling me something and then it really changing the course of my life.
I guess I'm proving that it does affect me, but it's more of a joke. Jamie thinks it's all ridiculous.
Yeah.
So I like to really get into it and say, make sure you say her full name.
Just to play with them a little bit.
Yeah. But I hear what you're saying, but I love all that stuff. I'm not superstitious at all.
Zero. Not a single one.
No.
You could smash a big mirror and say,
No, and like
Ooh,
an
ding, ding,
you
ding,
know,
Black
the
Mirror.
kids
Umbrella.
the umbrellas in the house. Yeah.
I love that.
Do you believe in that too?
No.
Oh, okay,
It's
okay.
really weird that
I believe in that. I don't like that.
See,
You don't
Monica
like
and I
that, yeah.
know each other's. There's no rhyme or reason to it. You just pick some up.
The hat on the bed has now transferred to me, which I really hate because I never had that.
Right.
And
But
then now
it's-
when I see it, I'm like, oh, yeah, I think you're not supposed to do that. I think I told someone when I was out on a girls' trip recently, oh, you're not supposed to do that. They were like, what? And I was like, it's like a thing. And then I was like, no, it's not.
Yeah,
That's
it's
just
made
something
up in a
he
movie.
decided and it got infiltrated.
Jamie does a thing where he hangs his hat on the post of the bed.
Okay, that's fine.
No, it makes me crazy. I don't understand why
It's
are
not
you
a
using
hat rack, is what
not
you're saying.
or a hanger. It doesn't look pretty.
Yeah.
Can I just tell you guys how absolutely devastated I was just yesterday? Kristen being very nice. I've received all these different clothes that arrive. I never deal with it because I didn't ask for them and they're here. And I just ignore it because I feel crazy getting rid of it and I don't want it. It piles up. And so I came out of the bathroom and she said, all you got to do is pull what you want off the bed. I'll get rid of the rest, which was so generous.
Yes.
But there were 6 hats on the bed. And I honestly
no.
felt like,
Did you feel like you were going to throw up?
I was like, I might get hit in the head with an anvil right now in my
Right.
own bedroom.
Yeah.
It was a lot,
That's
man.
bad.
6. One makes me really nervous.
Were you upset with her that she
No,
put them on the bed?
no.
Oh,
I was just
okay.
mad at the universe for giving me such bad luck. Although it's been going kind of well since
I was going to
then.
say, what happens? Literally nothing.
So you don't have a single thing. Did you have any tics as a kid? Any OCD things?
No.
You didn't pick your nails? You didn't pull any eyelashes out? You
No.
didn't?
No.
Oh, wow.
No, you're so
See, I kind of expected you to have some because you're very open about having been very shy.
Yeah, that was my only thing. I couldn't really ask for things that I wanted. I had trouble expressing my feelings, but I was okay with writing them down. But I also couldn't really write very well, so it was like really dyslexic. So everything was upside down and backwards.
Wow, you were really a mess.
real
Shocking you're here.
Totally. But I would leave these notes on my mom's pillow saying like, I'd really love to go to the movies with you this weekend.
Oh, that's
or
nice.
I love you so much. But that thing made me upset earlier.
Okay.
That's sweet.
I know.
You
But
have
then
a
you
little
wrote her one
outlet.
that said, I want an agent.
Then it became I want an agent, and she was like, "Geez."
She's like, I'm going to
no.
pretend like I didn't see this one.
But also, I don't know how she read it because she's kept a lot of the notes, and they are really bad looking.
Okay.
You have to turn them upside down. I mean, I was basically a genius because how do you write like that today?
You know, Leonardo da Vinci, he wrote upside down and backwards and something else, and he created an eyepiece for himself so he could read his own writing, but he trained himself to write in this backwards. You know, first he was doing it with the eyepiece, and then he just knew how to do this so no one could read his writing.
Oh, so he did it on purpose.
Yes. So it could have looked like that.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God, she's a super genius.
Yeah, that's not how anyone felt. They were like, this person needs a lot of help.
Do you think shyness is just a genetic predisposition? Do you think there was an environmental reason you were shy, or do you think you just came out shy?
I think I came out shy.
You're the second oldest?
Yeah,
Okay. Your older brother, how much older?
a year and a half, Irish twin kind of thing.
Is he shy?
Not at all. Social butterfly.
Ah, an extrovert.
Because there's 4 of us, I guess my sister and I both shared the middle child things, but I was an older sibling and a younger sibling. So I was definitely the peacemaker in the house.
Was Patty shy?
Oh my God.
She'll love that,
Oh,
right?
she'll absolutely love
Yeah.
that.
Wow, I can't, honestly, I mean, I don't know her, but
That's the
can't-
last name on earth that she should be
That's
called.
kind of why I chose
like,
it.
even Patricia seems
No.
so wrong.
It is. It's totally wrong. No one ever called her that. So you're right. But yeah, she was shy.
Okay,
Yeah.
and then how about the youngest brother?
Not very shy.
Ambivert or extrovert? All the way, like older brother?
Wow.
No. Is an ambivert?
Both.
He's that. Connor.
Versatile.
Yes.
We'd say in the gay community. He's versatile. Verse.
Yes, verse.
He can top or bottom, whatever. I don't know.
Is that what they say?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you can top or bottom, you're verse.
So yeah.
Now, I have to imagine that you hate talking about this football thing at this point. Does it drive you nuts that people are so fascinated by it? Because I got to admit, I am, of course, too.
I'm like blown away by it.
It doesn't make any sense.
No.
For at least my understanding of it.
I actually think that now that I'm older, and I think probably because I have kids, I look at it in such a different way now than I used to. I've always been very, very passionate about the Giants. Definitely wanted to know as much about football as I could because I wanted my dad to think I was cool and my brothers. But now I just think the history of it is so amazing.
Well, just the notion, I mean, to put it in our terms, like if someone's great grandfather invented Seinfeld and the other one's great grandmother invented Cheers and they got married.
Yeah.
That seems impossible. Your great-grandfather on your maternal side
Yeah.
founded the Pittsburgh Steelers. And then your paternal great-grandfather
Yes.
founded the New York Giants. So
And they were buddies.
Okay, does that explain how your mom and dad met? How did your mom and dad meet?
My dad's one of 11. They met at a owner's meeting. My mom said, that one's hot.
Your dad's a stud?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And
That
then, those are so
That
many.
one, the 11th one is hot.
He's actually number 3. And then they ended up both going to Boston College. So that's how they really got to know each other.
But also, I would imagine that growing up as the child, or in this case, I guess your parents were the grandchildren of this football dynasty, is such a specific childhood. You're assuming, well, I'm never really going to meet anyone that knows exactly what the experience has been like. And then lo and behold, you meet someone.
Yeah.
It must have been kind of refreshing.
I think so, but really, I think that my mom was like, he's hot.
Perfect.
And my mom loves both teams, but I don't think that was top of her list. I'm pretty sure she said to me, you know, if I
Carnal.
can get him to kiss me, I'm going to get him to marry me.
Oh, wow. What a vixen. I
that.
kind of want to meet her.
Yeah, she's bombshell.
Is she?
man.
It
Yeah.
sounds
I'm
like
not
she's
surprised.
assertive, too.
She's assertive, but she's also really quirky.
Assertive, bombshell, quirky.
Wow, that's a good trio.
What a type.
Yeah, that's a good type.
Yeah, she's really funny.
I'm trying to think who I could describe that way, even in show business.
Okay, she was also voted class klutz.
Oh,
Oh,
well,
she was like geeky.
uncoordinated.
Very uncoordinated.
Okay.
Very
She probably
uncoordinated.
fell a lot.
Class klutz. That's made up for her. I've never heard of
I've never
that
heard of it either.
superlative.
Yeah,
She's
it wasn't
so
a compliment.
pretty, we
though.
have to give her something.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
and she's terrible at sports, so what can we say? Now, were the cultures of the two different families, the Steelers family and the Giants family, were they similar?
Yeah, like Irish Catholic. I grew up going, as did my dad and my mom. Every Sunday, we would go to church, and then right after church, we'd go straight to
the game.
Giants Stadium or
Oh,
whatever.
wow.
Yeah. At the time when my grandparents were alive, you couldn't just go to a game wearing a jersey. I had never worn a Giants jersey to a football game until a few years ago. It was a business. So they were like, you have to get dressed like you're going to work. Also, the box at the time was probably the size of the
Oh, it
eye.
all sucked back then, too, right? I mean, not to
It was-
belittle it, but
That's still, I mean,
relative.
way more than sitting in a little seat.
I only
It
mean
was-
relative to
yeah.
now today's box experience.
Oh, it's a new stadium.
Yeah, there's TVs hanging everywhere. The food's amazing. You
It's
get
ridiculous.
a massage, whatever you want.
So fun.
Yeah, but I'm very nostalgic for the old times. Giant Stadium was really special.
Did you ever feel like, oh, God, I gotta go to the game? Just because
Never.
you had to. Did you want to go to church? No. Right. Okay. But the game, yes.
The game I always wanted to go to, it's an hour drive, which on the way there, totally fine. On the way back, usually a nightmare if we lose.
You wouldn't get a police escort.
No, my
Okay.
grandpa had that, but not us.
Okay. Because I went one time. I was a guest.
Oh, did you
of
have a police
Bob
escort?
Crafts for the Patriots game
Okay.
that was in Boston.
Yeah.
And we had driven there like bozos and waited 3 hours. But once we got into his box, he said, why don't you file in your car with me when
Oh,
we leave?
nice.
Because they had, like 9 different cops
No,
that
we never
just
had that.
guided them out. Okay.
That's great.
Were people just so angry in the car
Yeah.
When what happened?
when
When
they
we
lost
lose.
on the ride home?
Yeah, it was bad. Just like silence. Or worse than silence, we would listen to Mike and the Mad Dog or something, and they would just talk about how horrible the game was and how horrible the Giants are, and you're just sitting in it.
What's the original industry for both the grandpas? Where do they even
Horse
get the money?
racing.
Horse racing. Not
Bookies.
bowls. Oh, bookies. So dirtbags.
Totally.
Yeah. Oh, wonderful. Both of them?
Yeah. They were just really good gamblers.
Oh, wow. That's
I know.
great. Now, here's my curiosity financially. I don't know if you've gotten into the books or not. Let's just say you could have started that team. It's accruing all this value, but it's not like you're living like a billionaire because you haven't sold the team. Is there any of that going on? Like there's like this
Right.
kind of disparity between what you're worth and basically what you have?
My dad didn't own the team when I was a kid.
He was a scout, correct?
Yeah.
Talent
For most
scout?
of my life, he was a scout. So we weren't living with the owner of the Giants. My grandpa was very much one of the hardest workers I've ever met. I mean, he worked until the day he died.
This is the son of the founder.
Yeah. So my grandpa Wellington, my dad inherited that. And he was probably also brought up with that mentality of work hard. It wasn't as if his dad owned the Giants and so therefore he didn't have to work. And we were very much brought up in that mentality. I mean, I started work at 13. It's an interesting thing though, because I know a lot
People
of people
assume you're
just
billionaires,
assume,
right?
Right.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying I wasn't very, very lucky as a child, but
It wasn't Richie Rich.
no. Oh, I used to really like that movie.
Yeah, okay, good. We have some overlap.
Yeah.
Too young for Silver Spoons.
What?
Ricky Schroeder, Silver Spoons.
How old
Yeah.
are you?
40. Am I too young
You
for
should
Silver
never ask a woman her
Spoon?
age.
A woman
I
can
can
ask.
exactly. That's
Totally
right.
teasing.
Wait, what is Silver Spoons?
Silver Spoons was a fantastic show with
Oh, it was a
Ricky
TV show.
Schroeder.
Oh, okay.
He was the boy, and he had an outrageously wealthy dad. And the stocking at Christmas time was full-size human. He had a train in his house.
Okay.
Jason Bateman debuted as an actor on the show. He popped so much they gave him his own show. It's like the cauldron of all
What's
these
the
80s.
show they gave Bateman from that? Is it one that I
He
would
had
know?
one show that then led to the Hogan family. Bateman's got great stories about the Silver Spoon days.
Right.
But the other one when I was a kid was The Toy with Richard Pryor. This formula works. Super rich kid with all your dreams.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's universal. My kids probably know one that we don't know.
Yeah, I'm sure there have been many.
Yeah.
Richie Riches,
Right.
Silver Spoons, Annie, the Ridge, right?
The best. The
Daddy
best.
Warbucks.
Yes. What are you laughing at? Why are you laughing?
So random, kind of.
That's one of my favorites.
Annie.
It's so good. I just took my kid. She looks like Annie. She's got
Your
like
child
crazy
does?
hair. Yeah.
Oh, is it red?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Orange to be.
It's
percent.
orange.
Two
And is
of
it
my
spirally?
kids. It's not spirally,
Okay.
but it is orange. And both of them. And Jamie was he's still just like, how?
That red thing is powerful.
Did you make fun of gingers when you were younger?
No, I wasn't that kind of guy.
Jamie was.
Oh,
okay.
And
It's
now
coming back.
we have them.
Well, I better really check my math. If I did, it wasn't related to their hair color.
Well, also, am I making this up or have you talked about gingers maybe that you grew up with that were actually the scariest ones?
Yes, I have a rule. There's only 4
Yes.
people I will not fight. I will never fight a redhead. I don't care if the
I love
guy's
it.
60 pounds. Because, yes, I've seen them start bawling in the middle of getting beaten up and then turn into whirling dervish,
Okay.
Tasmanian devils, crying while beating. It's
gave
I mean,
birth to
I
one of
don't
those.
think that's a redhead thing. I think a redhead who you saw get beat up and
no,
then
like
cry
five
and
of them. And they were all smaller because they were getting picked on for
they
being
all
reds.
cried and they all behaved in this exact same nature.
Pretty standard, yeah.
Wow.
We should call Aaron. We can call him.
Okay.
Call him in the fact check. And
Oh,
I won't,
yeah,
I
do
won't
that.
prep
I
him
wanna
for
know.
this. And
I
I'll
wanna
just
know.
say, was there anything all the redheads that got in fights
Boys
had in
and
common?
girls or just boys?
I can only speak on the boys.
Okay.
I didn't see enough girl red fights.
All right, well, we'll see.
And you don't care about my other 3. Why would you? I'll just give you one more.
Okay.
If you're in a road rage situation
Yes.
and you find yourself getting out of the car and you notice the gentleman's also getting out of the car and not in a showy way, he takes his shirt off and sets it on the seat. Not like takes it off and bares his chest. Just puts it
Yeah,
on the
I'm
seat. That's a guy
imagining
who's ruined so many shirts fighting. He's learned to take it off first. You want to get back in your car and just drive away at
Oh
that
my
point,
Wow.
probably.
This reminds me, something happened this weekend. This was crazy. I've never experienced this. I was at All Time, obviously. Do you ever go to All Time?
All the time.
Surprised I
Oh my
haven't
God.
seen you. I love it there.
I love it.
But I was outside with a couple friends. All of a sudden, we hear this crazy honk, just not releasing. And they were coming out of the driveway, and I guess there was a car a little bit blocking the driveway. And there was a guy in it. He just was sort of oblivious and waiting for someone. And so the guy was just blaring on the horn. And then the other guy noticed, he pulled up a little bit, let the guy out. He turns around super fast, gets out of the car. He's so angry. He's huge.
He's having a roid rage, maybe.
100,
Yeah.
it was so scary. And he went up to the car and he slammed his fist on the window, saying like, what the
Obscenity.
fuck? Well, yeah. And honestly, we're all like, we're all about to be
Right.
dead. A gun is imminent.
Sure.
Then he got back in the car, but I felt so bad for this Uber driver waiting for these 2 girls in heels to come get in his car.
No.
Do you think it's
So he
possible
could
this
make some money.
meathead was a taxi cab driver that had been
No.
run
He
out of
was a
town by an Uber driver?
This
no,
explains it.
I don't
Were you so
feel
grateful?
like giving him any compassion.
Reason.
Honestly,
Right,
I don't.
right.
It was so disturbing.
Are you so grateful I wasn't there? I would have gone to the Uber driver's defense, and then he and I would have probably had a little
Right,
mix.
right.
Yeah, so I'm glad that wasn't the case. I was just like,
Scary.
Man, people are fucked up.
Yep.
Truly. You could feel like that's an option to do today.
Yeah, I wonder what was going on there. Was this on a Sunday? I'm just curious.
It was on Friday.
That makes
okay.
more sense. Okay, we are way off track. Redheads.
Or are we?
Are we bullseye? where we
I don't
need to
know
be.
what we were talking about besides red-headed children.
So you were living in the city as a child, though, yeah?
No, we lived in Bedford, New York. It's in Westchester. It's like an hour north of the city. Martha Stewart lives there.
Wonderful.
Very, very beautiful. Lots of horses.
Everyone's got lots of land.
Just a really beautiful place to grow up because you're close enough to New York City where you can just hop on the train and you're in it. Or if you're in Bedford, like when I go home to visit my parents, getting Postmates there is still not really a thing. It still feels remote, and I loved growing up there.
Did you go to a small school?
No, the public school there was pretty big, but my mom would drive me into the city most days for auditions.
And that started at what age?
I started doing community theater at 9, but I didn't start doing professional stuff till I was about 13 or 14.
When did you write the note requesting?
When
an
I was
agent?
9, it took her a
9.
while.
Okay. She had to sit on it for a sec.
She had to make some calls. And literally everyone was like, does she want to play football?
Right, right.
It's totally different industry. So it took a while for that to happen. They were very supportive, but they weren't jumping at the opportunity. Also, there's 3 other siblings.
You just made me think of a hypothetical that could have happened now that we're 3 generations away. In 11 kids and 30 aunts and uncles, lots of males have been born since these 2 patriarchs started these teams. I can imagine a scenario where like a pretty lackluster football player was expecting to get drafted out of some nepotism onto one of these teams. Has that ever happened?
No.
Not
Wow.
one. You see what I'm saying, though?
Yeah,
yeah, I know what you're saying. My dad definitely played football, but not super seriously. I think most of them are just more business.
No lugheads
Yeah, it
in
feels
the
like
mix.
more succession-y.
It sounds like Kennedy's, though, because of the gambling.
Oh, sure.
It's rooted in like bootlegging in a way. Or that's
So
my
crazy.
parallel.
I'm so against horse racing, so it's very complicated. But yeah, it's such a huge part of my family.
Well, but they get to be famous.
history.
Isn't that worth it? We'll do
The
anything.
horse?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I'm not quite this.
I can't name one horse.
Oh, sure you
Seabiscuit?
can.
Oh, Seabiscuit. Oh, my God, you're right.
Secretariat. There's been a bunch.
Mr. Ed is also a
Very famous ones.
Right,
horse.
correct.
Yes.
Now that's all I'm thinking about is famous horses. Black Beauty.
Mm-hmm. Okay. What age do you start working? What's your first job? And I want to talk about this funny rite of passage. I'm just now realizing we've had a million guests in here that have said it, but then we were just also there. And if you were an actor in New York, you were going to be on Law and Order.
Oh, yeah.
And you were going to audition many, many times for a Law and Order. That's like step 1 of being an actor, it seems
Totally.
like, is like get yourself on Law and Order.
There's so many roles on that.
Because it's a procedural.
Yeah.
And there's 6 or 7 different Law and Orders, and they're just churning out content.
I think that was my first job on my resume.
On your resume, it
Yeah,
does appear to
that
be
must
your
be
first.
it. I didn't really say much. I think I just cried.
Wow, that's hard to
hard,
do on your
yeah.
first role.
I think I was so nervous I just started crying.
They're
It was one of those.
She's
Let
really
it in.
into it.
Yeah. If I remember correctly, Bryce Dallas Howard and I had more red hair when I was younger, but at auditions, you always spot the other redheads because if they want a redhead,
They can't do 2 redheads.
No.
Because then people will go, they're sisters.
and she and I definitely saw each other at a few Law and Order auditions.
Oh.
And I think she got the one I really wanted. So that hurt. But I got this one.
That all worked out.
It all worked out.
There was plenty of roles in the Law and Order universe
Yeah.
for everyone to get a little taste. You did Law and Order, and you also did Law and Order SVU.
Oh, yes. I played a murdering gymnast.
Oh my God.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
Why was she murdering people?
She wanted a spot on the team, I think.
Oh, is this? Do you think they were biting off the Nancy Kerrigan story?
Yes.
Tanya Harding.
Because that would have been 92 that happened,
Oh.
I think.
Okay, so then
91.
this was.
So this was
92.
after, yeah.
Yeah.
Because I was 14 probably when I did that.
But I guess that's why it made sense that a gymnast would kill people.
Right. And I don't think she was trying to actually murder them, but that's kind of what happened.
Okay. Why did you graduate a year early from high school?
Because I was so obsessed with acting. School gave me a lot of social anxiety, and because of the dyslexia, I wasn't a bad student, but it took a lot of extra work for me to just do basic learning. learning in a normal way was not ideal for me. I really needed one-on-one. Anytime I was acting and had tutors on set, I found it so much easier to learn and to retain the information.
I got you. Did that rear its head at all with learning lines and all that?
No, because I had a tutor after school 3 days a week from the time I was really little.
Oh, okay.
She
So
basically
you
would
had the
teach me.
resources.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She would reteach me everything that I learned in school. When I was in elementary school, that's when I was really needing the support. And then when I made it to high school, I didn't have that anymore. She sort of cured me of my dyslexia with reading and writing. But learning in general, I found really challenging in big groups. I would sort of start daydreaming. So I just wanted to get out as fast as possible. And I was so determined. I went to the guidance counselor, whoever you go to, and I said, like, how can I
I'm going to get out
double up?
early.
Yeah.
I have a parole meeting. How can I get out?
Yeah.
I
They
want
were
early
like, well, I don't
release.
understand. I also had to lie to my parents and say that it was because I wanted to start college early. Because college was, you had to go to college.
Yes. Yeah, you're a Mara.
It's actually Mara.
It's Mara?
I heard you say that now a few times, and I felt like, are we
Is he
going to
gonna
be
pick
able
up
to
on
do
it?
that?
You already knew it.
I didn't.
Say it one more time.
Mara?
Okay,
Mara.
say it with a thick New York accent.
Mara.
Oh, I hate
Yeah.
accents.
Roni Mara.
That's how my
She's
grandparents
huge. She's huge.
Oh,
She's
no.
going to be huge.
talked. Mara.
Fuck you, Mara.
Is that New York? Is that what's happening?
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm not sure if
Let's
that's
just
New
go
York.
anywhere. Let's create our own dialect. It's some hybrid between Boston and New York.
I think it's
at this
more
point.
Boston.
Well, you're doing Trump. That's
Oh,
what you're doing.
that's what's
Yeah.
Trump.
Yeah.
China. Mara.
Do you get so sick of having to?
Correct people?
Yeah.
No, I don't. I don't usually correct people. I just felt inclined to all of a sudden because we talked so much about names.
I'm
earlier.
glad you did.
And you felt inclined to correct the fellow dyslexic. You're like, this is an easy
That was
target.
a dick move. Yeah, that was a dick move. It's confusing because my sister says Mara,
Oh no.
Oh, well, then
okay.
fuck you.
This is horrible.
Then I'm 100%
but she's wrong. No,
staying-
but she's
no,
wrong.
now I'm good.
No one else in my family says Mara.
Me and
No,
Rooney do.
she's probably-
Me and Patty. Patty
Oh
Mara.
gosh.
I can't wait to tell her that.
Hi, we have a call for Patty Mara. Is she there?
She's
Who is
probably
this woman?
bending to everyone else because she knows, like, I'd rather not.
She doesn't
Also,
seem
back
like
in
a
the day,
bender.
maybe how would it sound in Ireland? Omara, probably.
Mara.
I don't know.
We just rolled the R.
Scottish. Yeah, Mara.
That's like Rihanna's name is Rihanna
I
by
don't like
her
that.
own. So that's
Oh.
how she says her name, Rihanna. I mean, I'm saying it really, really American.
I've been saying it wrong this whole time.
we all have, and then no one wants to change
Rihanna.
it. I know it's hard to
It's
do.
hard to do, but you can say Mara or Mara. I don't care.
I'm going to say Mara.
Stay tuned for more Armchair Expert, if you dare.
So the Maras had to go to college. And so you were
Yes.
like, I'm going to get out early to go to college. But in your mind, you're like, I'm not. I'm going to fuck off and go be an adult.
Yeah. And so my brother wasn't happy about that because then I was in his grade because I skipped a grade and then we were in the same grade. And he said to me,
If you date my friends,
I was interested in some of his friends, but I would never say it. But he was like, if they call your name at graduation before me, you're dead.
Oh, really?
And I was so nervous. His name is Danny, so they called his
What
first.
a dumb fear he had. Yeah, of course. They're going to do alphabetical. They're not going to switch it up just because we got a couple Maras.
Well, but I mean,
Otter?
yeah.
yeah.
But he was very hot. He was the quarterback. He
What
Get
is he?
outta
Is he
here.
single?
Nope. He has 4 kids.
Oh, just like Dad.
Yeah.
He's done it perfectly.
I
Is he
know.
a football scout as well?
No, he was on Wall Street, and now I don't know. He's like Gordon Gekko.
Oh, wow. Great is good.
Yeah.
Good for him.
Wait, can I ask? Because you said you're shy, but I can't
Well, not
imagine.
anymore, really.
Oh yeah, back then though.
Yeah,
when you were
yeah.
in high school, I just can't imagine that you weren't the most popular girl in school.
Not at all. I
can't
wasn't.
imagine that.
You can't? I can.
Really?
Yeah, and that's not a dig.
I think it's a
It's
compliment.
a huge compliment,
Yeah.
which is why I'm trying to differentiate. I'm not
Yeah.
burning you by saying that, but I see that for sure. If you don't talk in high school, you
look at
can't be
her.
popular.
She's so pretty.
No, I literally
you hot
walked
in high
around
school?
like
Yes,
this.
look at her. Of course, she was hot.
Guys, this is so nice.
No, it's true.
No, but I had really long hair I think this is where it stemmed from, the don't look at me thing. In elementary school, I had my hair down one day, and one of the boys in school was obviously flirting with me, but I thought he was just being a dick. And he said I looked like Cousin It.
Okay.
And then I was like, I'm never wearing my hair down again. And then I got boobs really young.
Oh, congratulations.
Yeah.
What age?
Oh, I don't know.
Oh my God.
How young is
Well,
young
the story
then?
about the hair sounds like it's a story
Yeah,
in first grade.
That is young.
Yeah,
but the
yeah.
boobs, I think,
Yeah.
what,
Junior
like
high.
10, maybe 9?
Oh, that is young.
Yeah.
In 6th grade, you had boobs.
Yes.
That's when mine came in as well.
Did you want yours, though?
No.
My mom was like, I think it's time to wear a bra. And I cried. Was like, no, get me an undershirt. I don't want a bra.
I don't want people to be looking at me and see this.
Were you told to wear a bra?
I don't remember that piece. I think my friends were wearing bras.
Okay,
Even
without
though they didn't have
Yeah,
boobs,
that's
but
what
they-
most of the kids were doing.
Right.
Yeah.
So
This
I
is the
think I
thing-
had one just because that's what girls were doing, but I needed it.
It just so exemplifies the human experience. If you don't have boobs, you're wearing a training bra and you want them. If
Yeah.
you got them, you don't want them and you don't want to fuck with bras. No one's happy. That's the conclusion. No one's got what they want.
It's true. My mom was so open. She would always talk about before we ever got our periods and things like that. It was a very open, I would say, conversation, but I wanted to be a little kid.
You wanted less attention and you
less-
wanted to be
yeah.
a little kid.
But then I also wanted to be an actor. So it made
And you had
no
red hair
sense.
and big boobs, so you were fucked.
I was fucked.
Yeah, you're
Also,
saying she wasn't popular.
I wasn't unpopular. I just wasn't one of the popular.
Did you have a boyfriend in high school?
When I was a sophomore, yeah.
And what grade was he in?
He was a senior.
Yeah.
Oopsies.
Yeah.
But it was like a quiet relationship.
Okay.
He used to leave Dunkin' Donuts in my locker every morning.
Oh my God.
Which
He
was
loved
really,
you.
that was like
is
really
love.
cool.
How'd you
yeah.
let that one get away? Sounds like a keeper.
We were definitely not compatible, other than we both really loved Dunkin' Donuts.
Yeah.
Was it Ben Affleck?
Oh my gosh. In the high school yearbook, they do most popular, most this, most that. Best actor and best actress. For some reason, they put Ben Affleck as best actor, and I got best actress.
Wow.
So that's my connection to Ben.
And have you ever
What?
acted in anything with
That
him?
is so
No.
exciting.
But I have worked with your other boyfriend, Matt Damon.
Yes, on The Martian.
Okay, tell me if I'm imagining this. You probably don't remember, but when The Martian came out, however many years ago, I was on Twitter then. I don't have Twitter anymore. I was, oh, you too.
Yeah, fuck that
So we
place.
can't even go and see if this is in my imagination. I think we followed each other, and you very sweetly, but then I was like, is he making fun of me? Tweeted, Kate, great job in The Martian. I forget what it said, something like that. But I, because I'm, insecure human, I was like, why is he bringing up my tiny part in The Martian? Like, yeah, it made me insecure when I read it.
Wow.
And then, of course, I was like, well, why in the world would he be wasting his time making fun of my performance in The Martian?
Right.
Like,
That'd
it
be
was
really
such a weird.
sadistic. I'd have to be
Right?
like beyond just
Psychotic.
mean. I'd have to be scouring films to fuck with people.
Yeah. Anyway, it was such a nice thing to do, but I took it as that couldn't be a real compliment.
I've had that too. I just want you to know. I think that's very human. I too have received praise and I thought, they're fucking with me, I think.
Because how could it possibly be real? But of course it's real.
I know, but it's ridiculous.
Well, I've had that too where like a role was written for me in a movie that's me playing me. And I'm like, I'm not a big enough star to justify this. What else is going on?
Our brains are so powerful,
Yes,
right?
they are.
And
they
also
are.
just wrong most of the time.
Wrong and powerful. It's a great combination.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, back to, so you did get into Tisch to NYU.
Yeah.
You were going to do musical theater in theory.
Yeah. I was so determined to not go to college because then that would defeat the whole, I
Getting
wanted
out
to work.
early.
Yeah. So then I booked a couple other little jobs. I think I got some indie movie as well that was filming in September. And so I said, as long as I can pay for my own place and my own life, can I just defer a year? But I knew I was never going to go. And they believed me
Your parents believed you and NYU believed you.
Yeah.
Everyone believed you.
for
It was your-
whatever. It's like 3 years years you can keep deferring.
You were acting for your life at that point.
And it worked.
It was like the Prestige. You had become the act. You had to live the magic act at all
that's what
times.
happens in the Prestige.
You could have been in school with Kristen.
Well, she's 2 years younger than Kristen.
Year ahead.
Oh, you're right. She's a year ahead.
Yeah, so we would have only been a year apart.
Yeah, so you would
in
have
school.
definitely crossed paths in the theater.
That's
department.
true. You might have
Yeah.
dated Jake Gyllenhaal.
Did she?
She went on a date with him.
Oh my god!
While she was at NYU.
Wow.
Exciting. Have you ever gone on a date with him?
No, but I just thought to myself, did he play my dad? And then I remembered, no. No, Heath played my dad. No, because Heath played my dad
Oh,
in
in
Brokeback
Brokeback Mountain.
with Jake Gyllenhaal.
Yes.
There you go. But
and
no.
if Twitter had been around in 05, I would have complimented you on that as well. I think the first time I see you is I was an enormous Nip Tuck fan in 2003.
Oh, were you?
I'll say that show probably doesn't even get the credit it deserves. It really started, HBO had great programming, Sopranos and a couple
Yeah.
other shows, but no other networks were making R-rated,
Yeah, it was very
heavy
risque.
drama. Yes.
Yes.
That to me started the whole thing, Nip Tuck. And
Yeah.
you were right there on the ground floor. You know who else served their time on Nip Tuck?
Who?
Bradley Cooper.
Yes.
did?
And then we were both on Jack and Bobby as well.
Oh, you were.
Oh my God.
Did you ever date him?
No.
That was a confusing. That was a confusing.
No, but I have dated a few of your friends. So.
You
I
have.
have.
You didn't date Bradley, but maybe
I
there
think
was
you
some
guys
hang
maybe had
time.
sex.
Wait a second, guys. As if I'm going to admit anything like this. Well, I had to do the craziest screen test with so many guys. I feel like it would not be legal now. They would not let you kiss this many people in
Yeah.
a screen test for that movie, Green Lantern. I was the girl that they had read with all of them. And Bradley was one of them.
Yes, he screen tested for that, right? So did you kiss Ryan Reynolds? He ended up
He
playing
is
Green
him.
Lantern, right?
Oh, yeah.
Who else?
Wow, you could write a book about who's the best kisser. All the leading men probably
And
Well,
you
that's
auditioned
how
for
I
that.
met my husband.
You were
it
kissing him on
is?
that? in
Not
that
on Green
audition?
Lantern, but another one.
Fantastic Four.
No, a different one.
Oh my goodness.
We've known each other forever. Jamie and I screen tested for that movie Stop Loss. Ryan Felipe
There we
got
go.
that part.
Rest in peace. Nope. That's Paul Walker.
Oh my God. Money.
Oh, cut it.
You got to call
I
your
was like-
numerologist immediately and clear this bad thing that just happened. You got to clear it. And we need to
It
go to the
wasn't-
numerologist.
I actually just had a slight panic. I was
I
like,
know.
did
I
he?
know.
Anyway, that's how me and Jamie first met 15 years ago. And I did have to kiss a bunch of people. And my mom reminded me that I went home that day and said, Mom, I had to kiss like 4 different guys. And you know who's the best kisser? That Jamie Bell.
Oh,
Billy
that's
Elliot. And she was like,
wow.
really? Because all the other guys were much bigger and it was to play a
Aggressive.
Marine or something.
Yeah, they're kissing you like a superhero. In their mind, what a superhero kiss like.
I mean, I never would have guessed we'd get married
Aw.
15 years later.
Wait, sorry.
Anyway, you can
Jack
tell a
and
lot.
Bobby. I totally forgot all about it and forgot that you were a huge character.
Was I?
You were.
I was
And
like a stoner.
It was fast, but it made a huge impact.
It burned hot.
It really did. I totally
Oh,
forgot.
Logan, the main kid, so good.
Who is he? He's like a big
Yeah, he's still acting.
working. I
Yeah.
forget. Oh God, it was a long time ago, but I did love it
Love
so
it.
much. It was a long time ago.
It was so long ago. It was like
Yes.
20 years ago.
I was watching it
Yeah.
real time.
Logan Lerman.
Logan Lerman.
Okay, yeah, and he's done some really great
Percy
things.
Jackson.
He was in the Brad Pitt.
We don't
He-
remember anyone.
Bullet Train.
Bullet Train.
Fury.
Oh,
He's
whatever.
working.
He's
Guys, ignore
great.
him. He's a star in America. And you guys.
Whatever. That show was great.
Oh my God.
I have one question about something you did. I didn't even see it, but I just read that you shot this movie, Trans-Siberian.
Yeah.
3 months in Lithuania?
Yeah.
What was that experience like?
Brutal.
Was it?
Well, it was freezing cold. And so you couldn't do anything without being freezing cold. It was mostly exteriors and or in the train. And the train was not
heated.
Yeah, it was really cold. Woody Harrelson. It was such a fun cast, though. Emily Mortimer and Sir Ben Kingsley.
Oh my
Wow.
goodness.
Really awesome cast.
I'll say. And then you return to the Ryan Murphy world from Nip Tuck and you do American Horror Story, which I don't see, but I'll tell you where all of a sudden I get very interested in you, of course, is 2012 for House of Cards. Loved that show. I bailed out, but the first 3 seasons,
Oh,
maybe?
you watched the first 3, though.
Yes. Why did a lot of people bounce after the first?
It's hard to stick with a show, I feel like, after 2 seasons.
Oh, really?
That was like the first bingey.
That was
show.
Netflix's first
Yeah.
hit.
Yeah.
That was a tidal wave of attention, yeah? wow, this streaming thing's going to work. Wow, they
Isn't
have a
that
hit.
crazy that that's when it started? Because now it just sort of feels like streaming has always been around. But at the time, it was this new experiment.
Yeah, 2012. That's 5 seconds ago. And you're right. We feel like we've always been able to watch whatever we wanted whenever we wanted to. Fincher made that. Is he as rough on shows as he is in movies?
Oh, with the multiple
The
takes?
trillion takes?
Yes, I cried one day because I thought, oh, he just must think I'm terrible. I called my sister because she had just worked with him on Dragon Tattoo. So I was able to actually say, like, is this normal? I'd heard about how many takes.
But when it's happening to you, you assume
it's hard to not take it personally.
Yeah. I could never do it. I'm too thin-skinned or not confident enough. Something.
It's weird. I, at first, was really insecure about it. And then after the first week, I really liked it. It gives you so many opportunities.
But what I heard from someone that was a star of one of those movies is you're going to get all those opportunities, but he's never going to pick your best take. He's going to pick whatever the best camera move was. That generally most of those are all about getting all these different camera moves correct.
Right. Well, that's how I think I eventually got out of my head about it, was going, oh, it's not just for you every single take. But he makes, that's why he's so good, because he pretty much gave a note after every single take.
Wow.
Oh, really?
You know, like, so he makes you feel like, I'm not just ignoring you. But I did call my sister after one night. I was like, what do I do? I'm terrible. Like,
Yes.
we were doing the same line, I don't know, 50 times. And she was just like, oh, it's totally normal. It probably had nothing to do with you. I'm pretty sure it did have to do with how I was saying the line, but it made me feel better. And then, because he filmed the first 2 episodes, so the first 2 hours, and then brought in a different director for the next 2 hours. And it was so hard for all of us to shift the way we had been working. I think the next director who came in was James Foley, and his energy is so different and so positive, and every single thing you do is great, and only a couple takes, and we were all so scared.
Yeah. You know, it's funny.
You get used to it.
You hear the Fincher thing, and then everything he does is great. There's no arguing that. You start thinking, well, I guess that's justified. But then I just was talking to a friend who was just in a Christopher Nolan movie. Fincher's not better than Nolan, and Nolan's 3 takes.
It's not that one's necessarily better. It's just that's his approach.
Yeah, and I'm evaluating the approach. You could say that the ends justify the means because his work is so good. I'm only saying there's lots of examples of the work being that good or better without that. No one's going to join me there. That's fine.
He lives in the
I
neighborhood.
kind of
We
like
all
it.
still
No,
wanna
yeah, we're
work
friends.
with him.
I know. He lives really close. But I liked it.
Most people that I've talked to
Little
like it.
torturous.
If you're a little masochist, it's for you. Are you a jogger?
Yeah. Oh.
I just guessed that. I didn't read that.
Wait, how is that? Oh, it's masochistic? Is
Masochistic, plotter.
that interesting?
Yeah. 13 miles a day?
No. If we're going like to a hotel and I can't do my Pilates class, then I'm only jogging.
Okay. And how far
And
will
every
you
day
jog?
it's like, I did 2 today, so tomorrow I'm going to do 3.
There
and
we
then I'm
go.
gonna do-
There it is. That's why I can't jog.
Oh, because eventually you just can't.
Yes,
do
I
that
was like
many.
leaving my old house and I would run and I'd be like, I'm going to run to Hillhurst and come back. That's 2.6 miles. Great. Now I got to run to Wayne. Now I got to run to
Yeah.
Now I'm running down to the fucking 5 and I'm miserable and it won't ever stop unless I stop running.
Aren't you just describing an addict's brain?
Probably. Do you have an addict's brain?
No, but I'll go 1 more minute, not 1 more mile necessarily.
But even let's say it's 1 more minute. Does that ever end? If you were left to jog every single day.
Yeah, I'm pretty.
Yeah, because then she has to go to Pilates and then to start all over the next week.
I don't care that much.
Okay, so you'll
know.
do it, you'll add until you'll get to some threshold and then you, okay.
And then feel really good about myself.
Mine is add until it's untenable and then have to stop the thing
that's
altogether.
not good.
Yeah. Fantastic Four. Is this where you guys fall in love?
When the movie came out, the press tour is when we fell in love.
Okay.
But not when we were filming
And let's
the movie at all.
explain to people press tours. So you might have a fantasy about what being an actor is like. And for the most part, it's incorrect. The set life is not glamorous at all. It's really fucking boring. The hours are long, all this stuff.
Yeah, you spend most of the day waiting.
In your trailer, wondering why your trailer's not as big as someone else's trailer that's there. Because you think, well, this is miserable, but it might be fun in that other
Right.
trailer. And that's all you think about. Now, press tours are everything you think they are.
The Julia Roberts movie where she plays the famous actress and they do a press
Notting
tour.
Hill.
No.
Oh, America's Sweethearts.
Ocean's 13?
No, America's Sweethearts.
Okay.
I think, right?
Okay.
It's Notting Hill. You were right the first time.
Well, she is
Because-
an actress in that. But
Oh, but
she
she's
is an actress in
the other one,
America's.
too.
Yeah.
And she plays herself in Ocean's 13,
Oh,
which I
is
didn't
that why you said-
appreciate.
Yeah, but there's no press tour.
Yeah, it's
no.
not a press tour.
Anyway, there is a press tour in Notting Hill, and it's pretty accurate.
Okay, well, if you haven't seen that, I want to explain the economic model, which is the studio has a budget to make the thing, and then they have a separate budget to promote the thing. Their only way to promote it is to A, buy advertising in either magazines, online, commercials, whatever. They're going to spend their money on that, or to send the actors around and get free advertisement. So for them, the math is really simple. An ad in this newspaper costs, whatever it is, $900,000. Versus they can send you first class, suite at the Four Seasons, all the meals you want, but all in it's going to be like 26 grand. They're going to get like 10 covers out of it. So they spoil you in the most wonderful way.
Yeah. The moments when you're not sitting being interviewed for hours on end, those are fun. And if you really like the people that you made the movie with,
You're
even
all on
better.
a vacation.
Yeah.
8 hours a day, you got to do these annoying interviews, and they suck.
Yes.
They're rapid fire. You talk to every human.
And if they don't like the movie, and you
Sure.
can tell, which is what happened to us.
That's most of my career is
oh, no.
promoting movies that everyone.
They love all superhero movies except the one I did. So that's confusing.
Miles Teller, I adore him. Do you like him? Was he a
Love.
blast?
I love him.
He's great. How do you not fall in love with Miles?
No, he reminds me of my older brother.
Oh,
Actually.
okay,
my
now
And you know what? When me and Jamie got married, we had a really, really tiny wedding. I think we sat Miles next to my brother and they really hit it off.
Oh.
Very similar vibes.
couple of alpha
I
jocks.
feel like I really
Yes.
missed out on your brother.
Yeah.
Oh
I'm
my
pretty
God, I know
upset.
he's
Would
sad.
you
I'm
want
horny
you like
for
an
him, too.
alpha jock type?
She hates to admit it, but yes.
Oh, okay.
Look how disappointed her nod
I
was.
don't like
I like the
it.
opposite.
I don't
of
like
that.
I mean, I don't know. I just know I'd love him.
Oh, he's like Miles Teller. How could you not?
Yeah.
Okay, so you love Miles Teller as well.
Love Miles.
And
Teller.
what about Michael B. Jordan?
Oh yeah.
Oh, my God.
Who doesn't
Duh.
love Michael B. Jordan?
Duh.
Duh.
Hell's on Parenthood. We're watching it right
Oh,
now, and
duh.
Hill's great.
He's so good on that.
He's so good in everything.
I know.
Isn't it fun when you're on TV shows and the members of it become enormous stars? There's something like really gratifying about that.
Has that happened to me?
I guess
Kevin Spacey,
Bradley
he's doing
Cooper,
great.
Jack and Bobby. Wait, I didn't even know Bradley was in Jack and Bobby. I gotta go back and rewatch.
If you think I had a big
You
role,
did.
no, his role was actually, I was just a guest star. I think I was only on, I don't know, 5 episodes maybe?
Okay.
but I remember you.
Was Cooper Jack or Bobby?
No,
Okay.
that's why.
No, they were the kids.
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't watch it, clearly.
I'm just learning
I
of
don't
this
remember.
show right now
Oh,
for the
it's such
first
a good
time.
show.
Wait, and it was based on
Kind
the
of
Kennedys.
the Kennedys.
Yeah, you,
Oh, Jack and Bobby, like Bobby Kennedy.
yeah. And Christine
Based.
Lottie
Yes.
was the mom.
Great mom.
She was such
She's
a good
great.
mom.
Yeah, we love her.
Anyway, why did we go back to that?
Because I brought it back there for no reason. Oh yeah, Bradley
Right,
was
becoming
a huge
famous.
star.
Right.
And
Right.
Yeah, so you
Yeah,
could
it
say
is
that.
fun. It is fun when your co-stars become really famous. Yeah.
It's very fun to watch. Okay, one last thing we got to check in with before we get to Black Mirror and Class of '09. I think we're fellow chimp lovers.
I'm fascinated.
what about him?
Well, they're
It's
so
weird you don't like
similar
alphas
to,
and now you like chimps.
well,
They're the
no,
scariest
I just
alphas in
don't
the
want to
world.
be in a relationship with an alpha.
Now, is that learned?
Ooh.
Yeah, I think I've dated a lot of alphas, but I've dated a lot of people before I realized
Half
that.
my friendship circle, as I was told.
Yeah,
We'll find out who,
yeah,
but yeah.
mostly alphas.
Oh.
Yeah.
No, I don't know.
I
have
don't
no
know
idea.
either.
Yeah, but I also just think the football world is so alpha. So I always kind of was like, oh, I don't want that. I want the opposite. I want emotions. I want whoever I'm with to be super sensitive.
But what's curious is your dad's an alpha.
Yes.
So you have to first feel this immediate familiarity. I bet it feels normal.
yeah,
It could be misleading.
really familiar. Yes.
Yeah, and you can
Yes.
mistake the familiarity with love. I can.
Totally. But then my dad is so alpha and doesn't really express his feelings. And I love the opposite. I want somebody to be talking about their feelings all the time.
Yes. Well, this hopefully will be Alpha 2.0.
Oh, yeah, I know. That's
Like
the
males
hope, right?
going forward. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the goal. That's what I
Yeah.
hope I'm pushing
Yeah, yeah,
towards
yeah.
young
It
dudes.
feels like that.
Right, yeah, ride wheelies on motorcycles and then do a 4-step and figure out what your role
And cry,
in every
let
problem.
it out. You'll
Yeah,
feel
yeah.
you'll feel stronger afterwards.
Own your failures
Yeah.
and apologize a lot.
Uh-huh.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then ride wheelies and shit.
Yeah, I like Alpha 2.0. The great qualities of the old school Alpha.
Right, without all the what's he doing out in the shed for 3 hours by himself? What's he
Right.
processing
The
out there?
pent up
Yes.
stuff.
Yeah, what was that explosion I just saw? out his temper. Where'd that come from?
Yeah.
But chimps. We love chimps.
They're amazing. They are so similar to us. And so
Yeah.
it's fascinating. Have you watched?
Chimp Empire. I was just going to ask, have you
So
seen
good.
it? It's
Yeah,
incredible.
I haven't finished it yet because I fall asleep when I watch anything.
Lucky you.
No.
For someone who struggles to fall asleep, I
Oh.
would kill for that.
Yeah.
Again, grass is always greener. You've got boobs. I don't have boobs. I want them.
Yeah, you want boobs and sleep.
Metaphorically.
Jamie can't fall asleep, so he comes in and he'll catch whatever it is that I started, and then he'll finish it.
Gets sucked into things he
Yes.
never intended on watching,
Yeah.
probably.
He's always like, what is this horny TV? I'm like, what are you watching? Because I fell asleep watching that Sex Life show.
Oh, is that
yeah.
good?
People love it.
Well, it's like porn.
Oh, I should watch that. I would like that.
Well, remember the big thing was that guy's dick.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone was talking about it, and then it
Is
maybe
it
was
prosthetic?
fake.
Is
yeah.
it not?
Oh.
It was
There's
a
a
big
lot
deal.
of that.
I was going to say that's where it changes. I was going to add that when we were talking about high school. The boobs thing seems universal. Girls who had them didn't want them, and girls who didn't have them want them. It doesn't work that way with big penises. Like if a boy has a big penis,
Sure.
he's stoked he has a big penis.
Right.
So I just wanted to
Oh,
point
well,
out that.
well, just another thing that guys have easier than girls.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So you haven't finished. I'm not going to say much, but it is a rough last episode. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. This is a perfect segue. In fact, I was so sympathetic to males in general watching that show. You first meet this troupe and you meet Jackson, and he's the alpha male. And they talk about how he has to do these displays of aggression all the time to
Yeah.
maintain his role as alpha. And so you start it and you're like, oh, fuck, I hate this guy. Everyone hates this guy. Everyone's just enjoying their time in the woods. And then this motherfucker starts throwing logs and people get hurt. Like he's flinging around, he's throwing people. And then as you get into it, you're like, this guy's job is tough, man. It's like he's got 3 different dudes that are coming for him at all times. He knows it. When he gets overthrown, it's not going to be pretty. He might die. Also, when the next troop arrives, he's got to be number one leading
It's
this
life or death. Yeah.
Yes,
yeah,
his
yeah.
whole life is like trying to hold on to this little fucking smidgen. And then you get this amazing glimpse. Have you seen the scene where it's actually the alpha from the other troop? And this is very common in chimps and in a lot of primates. The alpha male will take on an orphaned young boy or girl, doesn't matter.
Yeah.
They'll tend to take an orphan under their wing and groom the orphan and start caring for it like they're a mother. Then you see on the other side of the coin, they're the sweetest members of the
Yeah.
whole troop. And then what they go through, and you're like, it's a miserable existence being that alpha. And it's just,
It's so
it's so
stressful.
blatantly
Yeah.
human.
I know.
It's like this role that male humans have taken on us. Like, they're coming for me if I'm not the fucking lead guy. No emotions, and then just starved for intimacy and softness. I just end up feeling really bad for that role.
It seems so exhausting. But the difference is that in the chimp world, that is life or death. Like they
100%.
have to play that role. Where in our society, we've made up this story where if you don't, then you're not manly enough or you're not enough.
Right. But the problem is no matter what story we create or how we evaluate what alphaness is at any given point,
Yeah.
the instinctual pull is there. It's just
Like
like
naturally,
a fire
it's there.
inside.
Yeah, you can't do anything about that.
No,
It is
it's like we
there.
can keep making a version where hopefully status is achieved through benevolence. That would be the ultimate goal. Is like, yeah, take all that alphaness, and the way to be highest status isn't to defend the troop, it's to be the most benevolent person,
Yeah.
right? That would be the wonderful transition. But in between there, we are still the animals that those chimps are.
Totally.
We're fucking animals.
Yeah.
I'm so glad you like Chimp Empire.
Can I watch the rest of it with my kids? We started watching
We watched it with
my
our
kids.
daughters.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Because that's really why I wanted to watch it, was to teach my kids about that whole world and how similar we are and why we should be treating animals with the same love and respect that we treat each other and all of that. And then I was kind of, even in the first episode, it's so intense.
Yeah.
Definitely doesn't feel like it's made specifically, well, it's not at all made for children, but
Right.
like I like that
Me too.
about it. It's
Just the
real.
reality.
Yeah.
Have you gone to Africa?
Yeah, so I had the most unique experience going to Liberia in Africa.
Where is Liberia?
It's East Africa. Every time I've gone there, the flight attendants say the same thing to me and my sister. They're like, so where are you going after?
Right,
I'm
where-
like, no, that's where we're going. That's our final destination. And they're like, are you sure? I'm like, I don't understand. But I guess it's a unique place for people to visit. We got invited years ago to visit this chimp sanctuary where all of these chimps had been abandoned by the New York Blood Center after years of testing.
They sent them back all the way down, or they were doing the tests in Iberia?
They were doing the tests there, and then they left them on an island.
Oh.
And the people there had been feeding them themselves, taking them food like bananas and rice and all this stuff on little boats and going to the islands. And we were invited to go and sort of see the operation and to get the word out that the New York Blood Center should do the right thing and pay to help keep these animals alive because they had been using them for all these years. So that was years ago that we went to visit. And the couple running this sanctuary, someone needs to make a movie or something about them because they're from Boston. They're a married couple and they left their lives in Boston and now live in Liberia with chimps. People think, oh, leave them on an island, they'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Not after we've captured them and they've been living in cages and we've been hand feeding them their whole lives.
Well, and they subsist off of culture as much as we do. Like everything is learned. They don't have barely any instinctual shit, just like us.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We went and we met this couple who were trying to make the lives better for all of these chimps, and they literally sleep with all the babies because the babies are like human babies.
They need
need
intimacy.
to be, they need to literally be on you 24/7 or they won't survive. So they sleep in a bed with like 6 chimps,
Oh my
baby
God.
chimps.
Do they wear little diapers?
Sometimes, but sometimes not because they don't want to be wearing diapers.
What
Give
about
them-
getting pooped on in the middle of the night
Well,
while
yeah.
you're snuggling? That
That's-
happens. Okay.
Sometimes the chimps get smart and they poop off the edge of the bed.
Okay.
that's
That's
nice.
polite.
That's really
Yeah.
nice, yeah. But they feed them with bottles and it's a whole thing. And so my sister and I had a really unique experience.
Did you sleep with them?
No, but God, I really wanted to.
I would want to so bad.
But they don't just trust you right away. You have to spend a lot of time with them for them to be comfortable with you.
Can't they be really mean?
Yeah, I was bit.
You were?
Yeah, just because I got out of the car and if there's an alpha who sees you, I don't even think I was moving. I just kind of stood there. I think he was a toddler. He wasn't an infant. And he just came over and bit my leg.
Did it
and
hurt?
Yep.
It did.
Yeah.
It didn't break skin, but it left a nice big purple mark.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, it was a little shocking. But again, humans shouldn't be interacting with the chimps unless you are there to care for them. We were there to help them with the infants. And then, occasionally a toddler will come around because this is their home. So
Yeah.
it was just an incredible experience. And seeing all of the people of Liberia who their entire lives are caring for these chimps, the relationship that they have to them is so magical and so trusting. And it's like their children, their actual
Yeah.
family.
They must be the happiest 2 people on planet Earth. Are they super happy?
Oh, yeah. They're like angels. They have such clear purpose and they leave for an hour. And when they come home, the sounds coming from their house, because all the chimps hear the car, they know it's Jimmy and Jenny's car coming up. And they start shrieking because they're so excited to see their parents.
Oh,
It's
my God.
the craziest thing I've ever seen. Because they don't have human kids, but they have, I don't know how many chimp children who rely on them.
Chimp children, chimprins.
Children. And Liberia is really incredible. We try and go every year, but having kids complicates it.
Yeah. And if a toddler bit a
toddler.
2-year-old,
No,
they're
we can't bring the kids
No,
yet. They
no.
have to be much bigger.
Stay tuned for more Armchair Expert, if you dare.
Okay. I watched Black Mirror Beyond the Sea. Because I got to be honest, Black Mirror is confusing to me. I've watched it and loved it, but I
Yeah.
never thought, when's another season coming? I don't know how many seasons there are. It seems like a hard show to track.
Yeah, well, because it's random.
Enough that like you'll see it and you're thinking, is that new or they're just suggesting that and it's old? I
Right,
don't know.
right.
But this is season 6 of Black Mirror. And of course, watching your episode Beyond the Sea made me remember how much I love Black Mirror and that I wish I was keeping track better of it. I am up to speed though, as it
you
turns
are.
out.
When was the last season?
I think it was 16 years ago was season 5. I don't know.
2011.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was.
20,
Okay, I was going to
okay.
say 20.
I was
So
gonna
three-
say,
yeah.
it
That's
couldn't have been that long.
but 3 years ago, that's a long gap between seasons.
2019? 4
Oh,
years.
4
ago.
years. Thank you. Well, first of all, It's a movie. It's an hour and a half or
90
something.
minutes.
Yeah, they're so cool because they are little mini movies. You don't have to watch every episode if you don't want to. You can just watch the one that you want.
They're standalone.
Yeah.
Did you feel honored to be asked? It's kind of like a cool thing to get asked to do.
It is cool because people are so obsessed with that show. And I've been a fan of it for a long time. So I was really excited to be asked. I was also a little bit scared of what the episode was going to be because they're all so wild. But I loved this one because it felt so much more steady. And for my character anyway, the world she's in was kind of more grounded and a little more quiet.
Yeah, I would imagine you might think you're going to have to play something way in the future.
Yeah.
But you're actually playing in a world that almost feels like a throwback.
1969?
Is what it's set in. And then the premise, we've got to be very careful about what we talk about.
I've watched half, so I don't know the end, and I don't want to know the end, so I can help monitor.
To have the power to be able to ruin your day is
Oh,
so scary.
so fun for you.
It's scary. I'm like, oh my God, I could accidentally. But the simplest explanation, the premise, I guess, is there's two astronauts and they are clearly en route to somewhere very, very far away. They're not going to be with their family for years. And what they can do is they can put this little card in a slot and they lay in this bed and it allows them to then occupy a model of themselves that's imperceptible from the real them. It's a perfect anatomical clone of them, and they can occupy their consciousness and they can be back in their real life for, I don't know,
certain amounts of time
during this journey. And you in this are married to Aaron Paul, who's one of the astronauts. And you guys are living like out in the country on a farm.
Yeah, it was so funny. We were filming in like the middle of Kent in England, but it was supposed to be America.
Are they all filmed in England?
They shot half of it in England and then half of our episode. So the stuff with Josh Hartnett was filmed in Spain.
Oh, it was.
wow.
It's generally Europe, yeah?
Yeah. I don't think they've ever really filmed here, but it was weird to go all the way there. I guess the person who built the house was American and was missing America years ago. And so he built a house that reminded him of home.
Whoa.
I know. So that's where we filmed, on this like beautiful farm.
It does look too nice to be America.
It's so idyllic.
It is.
Yeah, it's really idyllic. It reminds me of Bedford, of where I grew up.
Yeah, it reminds me a bit of Michigan. The
Right.
summer green, lush,
Yeah.
deciduous trees everywhere. Oh, I love
And
it.
like a lake nearby.
Yeah.
Yeah, really nice place to grow up.
So Aaron Paul's one of the astronauts, and then Josh Hartnett's another one. So he's going to see his family.
The vibe is that the two different relationships are very different.
Yours is very traditional. Aaron Paul is very controlling.
Yeah, and not very emotionally available to my character, Lona.
And he's a taskmaster to the child. And Josh Hartnett is like a swinging 60s astronaut stud. They got a swanky modern house.
Very swanky. How nice is that house?
Yeah, very cool.
Yeah.
Boy, and then I guess that we can't really say
No, I
what...
can't really say much. But
I wonder.
I feel like
you
Josh-
can say that thing, even though it's a huge piece.
Let's say it out loud and then we'll see if it sounds
decide.
crazy. Yes, Josh is home with his family and some anti-technology terrorists basically break into his house and they want to kill the clone because they're afraid of this technology.
It's like a Sharon Tate style.
yeah.
Yep. Very Sharon Tate-y,
Yeah.
very Manson-y. And they murder his family.
Yeah.
And now he goes back to the ship. And now he's just a guy stuck in a fucking ship.
Alone.
And they kill his replica.
Yeah.
That's right. They chop it all up.
Yeah, and so then stuff starts to ensue. So I think it's fine to leave him.
I think it is too.
The dynamic that's important is there is one astronaut who no longer has a family. There's nothing left for him to go back to.
Yeah.
And he's en route to who cares where. And the other one's still very dialed into his life.
But I have predictions. But I don't wanna.
What's your prediction?
Yeah, well,
You cut
I
it
want to
out.
hear your prediction.
We won't respond at all.
No.
Because we know.
Okay, so where I ended was he came back into Aaron Paul's replica the first time. And he's
To paint his
crying.
picture?
No, not yet.
Okay.
He's just brought that up, saying
Okay.
I could go back and do this, and that's literally where I just ended.
Okay.
So he's obviously gonna go back, but he was already crying, and you were already hugging him, and I was like, oh no. So obviously, he comes back to paint the picture, and then you two fall in love, and then he never goes back.
Interesting.
Good prediction. Great. By the
I
time
don't
the
know.
fact check happens,
Yeah.
we'll get to touch back in and see how good you did.
So everyone listening, watch it before you listen to the fact check.
Yeah.
Stop right now.
Yeah.
Okay, so you have that. It's incredible. It's a movie. How long did it take to shoot?
Couple weeks.
That's it?
Yeah.
God, that's
Yeah,
impressive.
I know.
You also have Class of '09, which I have not seen, and I apologize. But
How
I watched
dare
the
you.
trailer, and it looks incredible. And then most exciting for me, other than you, is Brian Tyree Henry.
No. Have you met him yet?
I've not met him, but I'm an enormous fan of Atlanta, and he as Paperboy is insane.
He's so good.
Oh, he's great.
In Atlanta.
God,
well,
is
he's so
he
good
good.
always. I know.
I saw Bullet Train Brad Pitt in a bucket hat, sure.
But for him, I
him,
know.
with the English accent, the whole nine.
He's very good.
And
he's
Juilliard.
Don't know.
He
Is
went
this
to
the-
some crazy acting school.
Yale.
Yale
Yale
drama.
drama.
Yale drama.
I was
He's,
right.
Yeah. He's fancy.
Will you tell me about him?
The sweetest, always smiling, always cracking jokes. And also, as an actor, he's
Get
so
the fuck
prepared.
out of the way, yeah.
Everything is so elevated when he does it. I love him.
What's happening?
Oh my God, it's my baby monitor.
Let's check in with baby.
You guys, the baby monitor is on. Hold on. Oh my God.
Cute.
That
is
was freaky.
So creepy and so
This could be an episode
sorry.
of Black Mirror
I
right now.
wonder how long that's been going. And like, are you going to hear that all through?
You won't hear it if we didn't hear it, and that's the first time I heard it.
Oh my God.
Wow,
That
They
was
must have closed in on the mic a little bit. Did they gather up around wherever the monitor is?
I don't know. Maybe she's putting him to sleep or he's just waking up. I don't know. I've got a baby,
How old's the baby?
7 months.
Oh my God.
Well, I filmed Black Mirror and Class of '09. I was pregnant during all of that.
Holy
So,
shnikes.
well, not during all of Class of '09. It was like the last couple months for Black Mirror the whole time.
Wow.
And so we were kind of trying to mask.
That didn't slow down Hartnett.
Well, maybe he likes that kind of
I think he does.
Anyway, I love Brian Tyree so much. No, he didn't give anything away.
Okay.
No, not at all. Not at all.
Okay.
No, really. I swear.
feel-
It
Nothing's
didn't give
been given
anything
away.
away. No.
Okay.
What if the big thing we were keeping from Monica is that your baby bump gets huge? Well, Kate Mara,
Well done.
That was good.
Kate Rooney Mara.
Kate Maribel.
Kate Rooney
Maribel.
Migdovich.
Ooh, Miktovich.
What was it?
What's Migdovich?
I don't know.
What?
She put some
Migdovich.
Polish Jew in
Migdovich
there.
Migdovich.
Is Jamie's
Oh, Matt. No, Matt Finn.
Matt Finn.
Migdovich.
Matt Finn.
It's very different.
Matlock.
Matt Finn. Okay.
Matt Finn Bell.
You know, you and I have had such few interactions, basically trails to my knowledge. We have seen each other at trails where we mutually both hike.
Yes. So I think the first time we met was we were doing a table read, Kristen as well, for Justin Long's movie that he wrote, I think, with a friend of his. This was so long ago.
Okay.
And you and Kristen were sitting right next to me. And I don't know if this was the beginning of your relationship or what, but you guys kept writing in each other's scripts like little kind of like flirty, because I was trying to see what you guys were writing.
Sure,
And,
sure.
and you, anytime she had a line, you'd write on her thing like "killed it, babe." It was really cute.
Sweet.
So
Well,
I
that
think
coulda
that was
gone-
the first time we
If
met.
you were around us at the early stages, you got lucky because it also was explosive.
Oh,
So you
okay.
could have caught us on any one of the
This was
days.
a very sweet
Okay,
day.
good.
Yeah.
I'm very happy to hear that.
Yeah.
I don't remember doing that.
It's all kind of a blur to me, but I
Yeah.
just remember being like, what are they writing in each other's scripts?
Were you in a relationship when you were kissing all those people for the screen test?
No.
Because that's fun then. Or is it? Or is it still just like, oh, yikes.
One of the people had really bad BO.
No, I hate that.
I'll tell you who it was
Yeah,
after.
I can't wait to hear.
I don't want to out them.
No,
No,
we
of
would
course
never do
not,
that.
of
That's
course
shaming
But
someone.
no, I mean, can be fun.
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
like, oh, this person's
It
coming
depends.
in. Oh.
Yeah, on the vibe.
I was on the verge of telling you when you brought it up, but my experience with that was I had been basically cast in a Carl's Jr. commercial. And the premise was
love it.
two people are making out. The guy hears over the TV that they've lowered the price of tacos or a burger to 60 cents or something. And so he starts searching in the couch cushions while he's making out.
Okay.
But it is a full 1 minute of making out while you're doing all this fake space work
Yeah.
and everything. So I had done the initial audition, then maybe a callback. Then I was guessed. Then they called me in to go through all the finalists on the female side. So
Oh, to
similar
kiss
to
them all.
you, I sat on a couch and they just brought in actors.
Oh my. Well, we know you enjoyed it.
You'll like the ending, you the most. I have this great experience. I'm like, this job is
Hard
amazing.
day
You
at
sit on a
work.
couch
Right.
and you make out with girl after girl. And I'm so excited. And it's, by the way, the first national commercial I've booked
And
after
nationals are
5 or
starting to
6
be
years of
great.
trying. I'm so bad at it. I finally get it. And I spent the whole Friday making out with girls on the couch. My girlfriend comes into town that day from Detroit. We go to this girl who I end up being with for 9 years, side story. We go to her apartment. I get in it with a guy. I get my nose broken in a fight on Saturday. I'm broke. I have no choice but to try to show up and just do this commercial, which I tried to do. And
you
my
did-
nose is so fucking
wait.
enormous and broken and crooked by Monday. And my eyes are completely black and blue. I have full broken nose.
They
I'm-
didn't recast. They didn't.
Of course they recast me, but I was like, I'll just show them hair and makeup, maybe makeup.
Maybe they could make it better.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
no. That's
you'll be
horrible.
happy to know that the universe right-sized all that kissing with the broken nose, and then I didn't
I
get
don't
to
think
even
it's
do the
because of the
job.
kissing. I think it's because you got in a fight.
That one wasn't my fault.
I'm sure. I am sure. I believe that it wasn't instigated by you.
No, I was sitting on the floor, sitting on my hands, and a dude standing
Sucker
above me
punch?
sucker punched me in the nose. Probably the funniest part of that whole thing is he punches me, my nose immediately breaks, so it's just like a gallon of blood just comes out, and then he's still hitting me. I'm like covering myself. The second he stops, I jump up, chase him. He runs through his door, locks the door, runs out his thing, gets in his car, and drives away. Bree is in the room screaming. She's never seen anything like this. And my girlfriend from Detroit, who I'd been with for 5 years at that point, she was like, none of this even fucking matters. Grab me another beer. Like, nothing to see
It didn't
here.
faze her
Like,
at
she
all.
didn't care at all. She
Oh
wasn't
my
worried about me running away.
God.
She's like, yeah, I've seen this 100 times. Who cares? Everything's fine.
Mess. Detroit.
It's triggering from that guy who hit the car.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
how I
you're
feel
feeling
right now.
emotional
Sorry,
about
I
it.
didn't mean to bring you back
Right.
there.
It's all right.
Really, I thought it was a funny story because Carrie didn't really care.
Yeah.
Kate, Rudy, Maribel. So lovely to have you in the attic. I'm so glad you came in.
very fun.
I hope everybody watches Black Mirror Season 6, Episode 3, Beyond the Sea. You must watch it. Also check out Class of 09 on FX/Hulu. I hope we will see you again. I hope you'll come back.
I might go in the sauna with Kristen right now.
You should.
Oh, okay.
Good luck with those playing cards.
It's a party.
Oh, yeah. Thank you for the Pokemon,
You should
guys.
definitely see if you've got any $1 million cards
Yeah,
in
I'm
you
there.
going
might.
to. Okay.
All right.
Thank
I
you,
adore you.
guys.
Good luck with everything.
Stay tuned for the fact check so you can hear all the facts that were wrong.
Okay. I'm wearing a hat for the first time. And it's a new feeling.
Yes, this is something that I've already dealt with before. I've tried to wear hats during interviews.
Yeah.
And Charlie wears a hat during
He does.
his podcasting. As we already discussed, Wobby Wob wears a hat. And he
Yeah.
looks great. His looks very natural.
He kind of wears one exclusively, I'm realizing.
Even though he's got great hair.
Yeah, he does have great hair.
It's hard to contain, though.
It's unruly for you?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not very long.
No, it's
Oh,
long.
I guess it is kind of
mean,
long.
it's
yeah.
long.
Oh, it is quite long, yeah.
Anyway, the hat is a new feeling. I got it yesterday. I got it very last minute because I realized you're supposed to wear pink to the Barbie movie.
Oh, shit. So you
It's-
did an impulse buy walking in or something?
It's an unspoken rule.
Everyone in there was wearing pink?
Yeah, it's really cute,
That is
actually.
cute.
It feels it's very sweet to look around and everyone's
Yeah.
done the same thing.
Yeah, community,
Community.
connection.
Well, what's a bummer for me is I have so much pink. I love pink.
Yeah.
I have so many options, but I didn't
just-
think about it. And
Right.
then I had to run into a Nordstrom rack and I bought this hat and a shirt.
Oh, great.
But
Okay.
now I'm going to embrace the hat because also some cool people like Jennifer Lawrence are wearing hats, baseball caps.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so,
So that's a new thing.
yeah.
Baseball caps.
It's fashion.
Well, that works for me. Because I cut my hair short.
Okay.
And I feel like I look much better in a baseball cap than I did with long hair.
Oh,
So I've been
interesting.
wearing a baseball cap quite a bit myself.
Oh,
And really
wow.
enjoying it. I didn't today.
You accidentally stumbled upon fashion.
Yes.
Well, we're not going to talk about Barbie because you haven't seen it.
Okay.
But
And
I
you haven't seen
encourage-
Righteous Gemstones.
Right, so we're not going to talk about that either.
Damn it. Okay. I love it so much.
But I would encourage everyone to see Barbie.
Oh, but we're not allowed to? Like, what's the difference between an actor coming on and promoting Barbie? That's a no-no in the
I'm
strike.
not in it.
I know.
Oh, Oh, fuck.
We're just in a confusing.
Oh, I'm not
I think we can just
allowed.
own how confusing it is. Like, are you not allowed to say you're watching a show and loving it?
We're allowed to say that. We're
I
not
think so.
in
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
But, and also, though, I am striking tomorrow morning.
Okay, great.
Also, last time we talked, I don't know if I said this, but before I struck last time, I was really concerned about the t-shirt situation. Did I bring this up?
No, what's the t-shirt situation?
So when I watched the writers' strike, a lot of them were wearing these blue t-shirts that said WGA, and they looked really cool.
Coordinated.
Yeah, and it was coordinated, and it was blue, and it was neat. I liked that. And as soon as the actors decided to strike, of course, my first thought was, will there be t-shirts?
And what will the color be?
What will they look like?
Should be pink. Although it would look like everyone's promoting Barbie.
Oh, yeah, we can't do
Oh,
that.
it's so confusing.
Will the actors be on top of the tees like the writers were? I got a little nervous that they weren't going to. I asked Elizabeth, Elizabeth Lame, who is a writer in the Writers Guild who's been striking forever, how do the t-shirts work with these things? And she said that the first few days of the strike, they had t-shirts. If you get in there fast, you can get a free tee.
I just hope it's not like red and blue, blood and crip. Like you show up and you're in a purple shirt and they're like, that's the studio color shirt. And then you notice all the studio presidents driving, they're all wearing purple shirts.
No, no.
Could happen.
It could happen. But anyway, all to say, when I went, they had a couple smalls left. So I got a shirt. When I got home, I realized that the shirt I got,
Was bogus?
well, it wasn't bogus, and it is true, but it's SAG supports WGA,
Okay, not
just SAG Strong.
Okay, so you need a shirt that says SAG Strong.
Yeah, and I do support WGA.
Yeah, of course.
And so I'm happy to keep wearing that, but I also would like a SAG Strong. That wasn't a veil.
Where are you buying this?
They're free.
Well, someone's handing them out?
Like when you go and you sign in.
Okay.
And sometimes there's donuts and waters.
Wow.
And
It's like
stuff.
an AA meeting. Okay.
And then they have t-shirts, but
Maybe we
that's
should
what
hand out
she
shirts
meant.
in AA.
Isn't the whole point to be anonymous?
Well,
Yeah. Anywho. Okay, so you had a big adventure.
I had a big adventure.
Yes.
And I think this is the place to probably tell everyone the end of it because I don't want to be misleading. So if I could bore everyone with the whole story. So we were originally to fly out at 5 p.m. from Boston. And we were on Martha's Vineyard. So, you got to check out of a house. You got to return around car. You got to take a ferry. Then you got to take a bus 2 hours to the airport. So, trying to land there on time is a little stressful because there's a lot. It's a big journey between the rental house and Logan International Airport. Oh, let me add for color and context. Eric and Kristen are very similar disposition, and Molly and I are very similar disposition, right? Molly and I are both control freaks. So we want to be everywhere like an hour and a half early. I don't want to chance it because being in traffic when you're out of time, which is exactly what happened, because all the tunnels are under construction. I shouldn't say all.
This is stressing me out.
No, many of the tunnels are under construction. So there was even a moment where mid-ride in the bus with all 8 of us in it, Eric and Kristen were starting to feel like you guys were stressing about nothing. We probably could have taken another ferry, that kind of a sitch. But then we got to the tunnels, and then we were sitting in traffic for a very long time. But what was great is we had left early enough, so it was not a big deal. So we got to the airport like an hour and a half early, which is perfect. We went to Samuel Adams. We had some hamburgers, and we played spades. Life's good. Then it got switched the flight to maybe 5:45. Okay, well, that's fine. We're having a good time. Then it got switched to 6:30. Then it got switched to 7. And it's all kind of a little confusing because it's about weather, but the weather's fine there. All these things are confusing and announcements involved. Then 7. Then it gets switched to 8. Mind you, I got to add Larry Trilling, who I talk about all the time on this show.
Yep.
He directed 39 of 100 Parenthood episodes, and he happened to be on a road trip with his wife, his beautiful wife, Jennifer. So we had hosted them for a few days in Martha's Vineyard.
Yes, we talked about that.
So then I just texted him when I was at the airport, like, hope you guys, blah, 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 blah. And he goes, oh my God, are you on the 5 o'clock flight? Yes, I am. Oh my God, we're here. Wonderful. So fun. So Larry and Jen are there.
Great.
So again, no one's really stressing out about these delays other than I have a blood draw at 8 a.m. in LA. Then we're going to interview for Armcharies and then something else. So the fact check, pretty busy day the following day. So I want to get home that night. And then I think I start texting you and Rob around 8 o'clock my time. Like, this isn't looking great. We should have some backup plans, whatever. So we're hanging. It goes to 8:50. Now we're waiting until 8:50. And then the plane arrives. And then, great, they're loading the luggage. Oh, great, we're going to get out. And we're going to get home pretty late. But it's okay. I'll only have 6 hours. It's all going to work. Then the pilot thought he had heard something wrong with the plane. Now they got to check a mechanical thing. Then the crew times out. This all happens around, I don't know, 10 o'clock at night. It's going to be in the morning at 8:30. We start calling. Everyone's looking on their phones at every single website, any hotel possible. There are no vacancies. The crew can't get a room. In fact, in the end of this story is the crew had to go sleep in Rhode Island, which delayed everything even further the next day because the pilot has to have 10 hours. We don't know this yet. We just think it's going to be at 8:30 in the morning. We're not hip yet to what's really going on. So it's 11 o'clock at night or something. And I'm like, look, even if we find a place that's an hour away, in the morning with the tunnel shit, it's going to be a 2-hour drive there. You got to be an hour early. So we got to leave 3 hours before 8 a.m. That's 5 a.m.
Oh my God.
Plus we're driving. Guys, let's just sleep at the airport.
Yeah.
Everyone's pretty into that plan. Positive. Everyone's positive. Go buy a bunch of blankets, buy some head pillows. It's insanely expensive to get 8 blankets and pillows and blah, blah, blah. Lay down on the floor. Some of the kids are asleep. Now around
And no one cares about germs.
Yes, Kristen cares about germs.
Okay.
Molly cares about germs.
Okay.
I don't give a shit. I want to go to sleep.
You also do, I feel like, a lot of times care about germs, so I'm kind of surprised.
I went back to... I've slept at the airport several times in my life. I used to do car shows. I had no money. I wasn't going to be able to get a hotel. Anyway, I've slept in the airport a bunch. Carrie and I have slept in airports. I think me and my buddies in Europe slept in an airport. I went back to I've slept in the airport and it's fine.
Okay.
Well, we're next to a bathroom. We were sleeping directly across the street across the hall from Starbucks. So I'm like, this is great. I'll wake up and I'll mosey right over
Your
there.
hotel was right by a Starbucks.
It was in a Starbucks virtually. We're all situated. We've accepted it. We're actually in great spirits. And we are told at midnight, TSA is coming at 1 a.m. They're going to kick everyone out of here.
Why? I don't get
But
that.
mind you, some flights to London were canceled. There's a lot of people that are going to have to spend the night. And there's no hotel rooms.
Right.
So a lot of people are going to be sleeping in there.
But why would they kick everyone out?
I don't even want to get into that.
Okay.
I was so irate about that. Then it became a whole thing of I'm not leaving. They're going to have to arrest me. You know me.
Oh my God.
Let's see when they try to kick us out at 1. Fuck this. Now everyone's nervous I'm going to get arrested. And I'm kind of willing to get arrested. Because you can't fucking tell us we can't sleep. We've already gone
5
through security.
seconds ago, you were like, we need to get home to do work. And now you're willing to
Well,
ruin.
here's my point. What could be the security threat if we've all already passed through security? There's absolutely no reason we can't sleep there. The plan was going to be that at 1 a.m. they're going to kick us all out. They're going to set up cots next to the baggage carousel, which the general public can enter at that point.
Yeah, it's
Right.
more-
Anyone-
more
That's even,
dangerous.
yeah.
Incredibly dangerous for everyone, much
Yeah.
more dangerous. Not to mention there'll be flights coming in at 5 a.m. So we're going to get kicked out at 1. We're going to get to cots. We're going to fall asleep. And then at 5 a.m. that fucking baggage thing's going to start firing up. When are they going to kick us out of the cots? They got to clear the cots. In the meantime, Larry and Jen had gone to their friend's house in Wesley, Massachusetts, John and Krista. They came to us and thought, what are you guys going to do? I'm like, we're just going to sleep here. And they're like, okay, well, that sounds crazy. But we asked John, he said you could all come. I'm like, there's no way I'm bringing 8 people to your friend John's house. I'm too codependent or whatever the thing is. I won't be loved if I'm that big of a drag on people.
Okay, yeah.
Right. I got to be self-sufficient and provide. I can't be whatever. That idea I'm not comfortable with, infringing on these strangers.
Yes.
Well, come midnight, when I know that this is the situation, I text Larry. Now it's even worse. I should have left with him at 11.
Because now you have to
or
come in the middle of the night.
Now I got to come in the middle of the night. Also, now we're in a cab line. The kids have been awake forever. We've been at the airport.
Are they melting down?
They're shockingly great.
Wow.
I'm so proud of them.
I'm impressed.
I think this primitive thing happened where it's like they knew we were fucked. Like we didn't have shelter. Something happened where it was like now's not the time, and they could feel it, and they behaved accordingly. I was
once you said, "I'll just get fucking arrested." Maybe they were like, "I guess we better shut up."
I didn't say that in front of them. That was more in front of the adults. But we finally secure a cab. We get to John and Krista's house, and we are welcomed.
Yes.
They have laid out little mats.
So nice.
Just the amount of gratitude I felt was just so enormous. And I'm also having this moment of like, am I a good enough? And like, would I be this good of a person? Would I invite 8 strength. Now 10 total to my house.
Kristen would make you.
She would, but I'm
Yeah.
not. I already know she would.
Oh, you're saying just on your own.
On my own, I'm kind of evaluating, like, look how special this generosity is.
Yeah.
And I hope I'm good enough to do that for other people. Maybe not.
Really?
But that's okay, because now I would.
Okay. You know to pay it forward now?
Yeah, I just like I can recognize how getting to lay
Desperate.
down on the in somewhere where you're going to get to sleep.
Yeah.
So yeah, us four were in the attic. Very ironic, and the saving grace ended up being an attic of their house.
Very sim.
Very sim. Woke up. Larry had bought all this breakfast items in the morning from Whole Foods. Then we went with them to take John's dogs for a walk in this beautiful park in Wellesley.
Great.
Met some people, walked with them. Had like a glorious time.
Great.
Walking these dogs. We're all in the same outfits we've been in. Oh, but I got to add that. Our luggage is on the plane.
Right. I figured
So we
that.
don't have anything.
Yeah.
So yeah, regardless, that was a little bit of a oversight because I sweated through my one outfit on this walk.
Oh,
In the woods.
Sure.
And I'm like, fuck, that is all I got.
Sure.
My shirt's soaking wet.
Yeah.
And fuck. What's happening with my sweat glands? What's happening to me?
that's been a question now for a few months.
We get to the airport and then the flight ends up getting delayed another 2 hours.
Okay.
But who cares? We got out. We
You
left
got
at 3.
out.
We left at 3 or
Okay.
something. But it was quite an adventure.
Yeah.
But everyone stayed really positive. We're real proud of everyone on the
Good.
team. No one got a shitty attitude about it.
Very impressed.
People were a little worried about, they were a little. By the time we got to the airport and the security guard told me to take my hat off so he could recognize me from my photo, my license, and I took it off and then I put it back on. He said it wasn't long enough for him to see if that was me. I was a little worn out at that point.
Okay.
And Armchair did see me in TSA because they were also taking a snow globe away from Lincoln that we had bought in the airport. And a woman said, "Oh, this is like the TSA Armchair." And I said, "Yes, let's hope I don't have candy and children's panties in my luggage." So that's fun.
Yeah, that is fun.
Are you glad to have me home? That's what normally you'd go, "I'm glad to have you home."
I told
Glad you made it.
welcome home.
Yeah, welcome home.
I said I'm glad. I said I'm glad you're happy you're back. I'm happy to see you tomorrow.
And then we have an entirely sim moment where you and I arrived to work today. I've only worn all white on this show one time in 600 plus episodes.
Yeah.
With Downey.
Oh, that's the only time.
That's the only time I've only worn all whites 5 times in my life.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I'm goth.
You're
I'm
Wednesday.
You and you don't wear all white very often.
I wear it more than 5 times one,
5 times one, sometimes 5 times 1 month.
but it's not every day. That's
Anyways,
for
we're
sure.
both head to toe in white,
We
which
are.
is hilarious with black shoes.
Yeah.
All white, but black shoes.
That was exciting.
I thought that was thrilling. That was a real sim moment.
It was a big reveal. Wow. Well, I'm glad you're back.
Thank you. Oh, that felt great. I felt obligatory
did it
and
feel
it felt great.
genuine?
No, it felt a little obligatory. Like you've been shamed into saying it, but
Yeah.
I'll take it. The contradictory feelings, like where I never wanted to leave Martha's Vineyard. I was having all these feelings of like, I need to live in nature. I need to just be around green trees and breathe good air. And then also, I miss the attic.
Yeah, I've had some existential moments this summer
You
as
have.
well.
Tell what are some of them?
So this past week and a half or whatever, 2 weeks, I guess. Well, really week and a half. The Shepards and the Richardsons were at Martha's Vineyard, obviously. And the rest of our pod was on another trip
In Canada.
in Canada. I was not included in either of these vacations.
Uh-huh.
And I am the only one who's left behind here. And, of course, I'm already sensitive to this.
Yes, yeah.
I think I'll go out on a limb and say I think most people would be sensitive to this particular situation.
Uh-huh.
And so, I was kind of sitting with that a little bit as everyone was leaving and
Uh-huh.
but for some reason, I think, I don't know, acupuncture or chemistry or something. I was sort of punting that feeling down the road. I was like, all right, whatever. And then at the end, like a couple days ago, I had therapy and I was talking to my therapist and I was saying, I think I realized that I have a very intense, tight grip on the friendship circle and the pod and us all being like, as we were during COVID and the connections being so tight and impenetrable and celestial and all these things. Like, I'm very attached to that, partially because for me, like, what happened is like the worst thing that could happen is that I would be left out of a situation of intimacy amongst everyone. I would be excluded and abandoned.
Yeah.
At the end of it, I was like, well, that happened and I'm fine. And I had a incredible summer. And it was so full and so nice and
you were just with another
relaxed.
group of friends?
I was with friends. I was meandering. I just felt good. And easy.
Good.
And so it was an interesting realization.
It was a journey.
It was a journey. It was a summer journey.
And do you feel changed by it?
I don't know yet.
Okay.
I think we'll have to see. I mean, not changed in any way that's like, well, I don't need any of these friends anymore. Of course, I love everyone and everyone, and I'm excited to see everyone. I was so happy you guys were coming back, and I'm excited to hang. But I feel a little shift. Who knows how long that will last, knowing me. But I feel the grip has loosened. And I think that's healthy for me.
Right. You'll be fine on your own.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're a survivor. You land.
Yeah, I'll be okay.
Did you feel that way last year when we went to Europe?
I don't think the two crossed over at the same time.
Okay. It was the double whammy. Yeah.
It was the being left solo.
Right. Right.
Anyway, but
Well, you had a blast.
I had a
guess
great
that thing
summer.
I'm most excited about. Well, don't say you had a great summer. It's
I
not
did.
even close to over.
oh, but I mean,
You had a great 2 weeks.
yeah,
Okay, great. Yeah.
I had a great 2 weeks. In this summer, though, ding, 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 Kate Mara, who's this fact check is for, asked if I wanted to hang out. She lives in the hood.
She did. Well, that's flattering.
Very.
She never asked me if I wanted to hang out.
What? Well,
Too aggressive
maybe
towards
she thinks
TSA.
You might. Exactly.
She likes to stay in good standing with the TSA. Oh, I am sympathetic to the TSA. I really am. I really, really, really am. Like, I was getting really, because again, it was just at the end of a long thing, but the notion that they weren't going to let Lincoln keep this snow globe that she had bought inside the airport because it posed a threat, and it had the receipt and the sticker from the airport. I was getting very.
You mean they wouldn't let her put it in a bag?
We had left. We had left the airport because we had to the night before, and then we returned.
Oh, so you didn't have
And
any
it was
bags.
in the carry-on. We didn't have bags. We can't check anything.
But why can't it go in the carry-on?
Well, that's the thing they were trying to say because there was some fluid in the. And I'm like, yeah, but you guys sell this right there. I'm like pointing at the place. Here's the receipt. Look at the bottom.
That
There's
is
the sticker.
very annoying.
It cannot be a threat if you can buy it inside there. Like, let's all, and
That's
I had to
frustrating.
go through a whole thing. I had to, because when I get that way, it's uncomfortable for my family. I really
I know.
don't like that I'm that way. And so I had to have a powwow with Lincoln afterwards, which was, and this isn't an excuse. It's just, this is my explanation. I had a stepdad that if you had one hand on the table, everything was good. If you brought a second hand up to the table, he grabbed you by the back of the neck, drug you and threw you on your knees and threw your plate in front of you and said, if you're going to act like a fucking dog, you're going to eat like a fucking dog.
Yeah.
That rule makes no sense why I have to have one hand down. That is so arbitrary and it's just power.
Of course.
And it's authority
It's horrible.
and it's fucking, and I hate
But
it.
it's
And
not authority. He's told you
he
it's
was
that,
the
but it's-
authority in my life. He had
Right,
power
right.
over whether I ate at the table
True,
or next
true,
to the
true,
door.
true, true.
And I had a
was
couple of those guys who
Yeah.
came in and their fucking rules were
Abusive.
they were arbitrary
Yeah.
and they were bullshit. It's really, I got to be clear. I'm not triggered by like, you can't speed. I get it. That's the law. It's dangerous to speed. When I get caught speeding, I know I've done something wrong and I agree with the whole thing. When you tell me I can't bring this thing back into the airport that I bought inside the airport, that is horseshit. And it just brings me back to like, no. the arbitrariness and the authority over me that I have to do something that makes no sense, it really sends me into hyperdrive.
Yeah.
And it's not fair to my family that that's the case. That's how I'm now wired. Maybe some magical CBT therapy would alleviate that. I don't know if it ever will. If someone tells me that I have to stand on one foot for no reason and they're an authority, I'm probably always going to get in that arousal state.
Yeah, but the thing is, you are wired that way and it makes total sense. Anyone would understand that. But you also know what it feels like to be in an environment where the temperature can change in a room by someone's mood and you have no control over it.
That's the thing. Why I'm motivated to not do it and to own it when I do it and then to talk it through is like, yes, it's so stressful. That was my dad.
Yes.
My dad too. He was molested and all these things.
Yeah.
And he too was never going to be forced to do something he didn't want to do. And it was rough. Yeah, it was exhausting to be around him.
I mean, he's much different than you. He can love you and be super kind to you and you can be his everything, but it doesn't really, it's still scary.
It doesn't mitigate the stress.
Yes, exactly.
Because the one thing that's different is like, I don't think my kids are scared of me.
Right.
I was scared of my dad because he fought my brother and tried to fight me. There was some physical threat there.
Yeah.
My kids aren't scared of me. It's just they're little human creatures that take on my emotions and the stress that I'm putting out.
Yes.
And it's not fair.
And you don't want them to ever be in a position to feel like they have to fix situations around themselves so that you aren't triggered.
Or even like having the anxiety approaching the situation they know that is likely to make me feel that way.
Yes.
Or where I will feel that way. No one's making me feel anyway. But
I know you will do anything for them. So I feel like you can overcome that.
Well, I have corrected my car behavior. I recognize, this isn't, I had lied to myself or told myself because I'm not like my dad and I'm not actually, there's no threat to them that it shouldn't affect them. But of course, then I recognize, no, it affects them, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Now, I'm super sympathetic to the TSA. Like I even force myself, I go like, I can't imagine if my job was to have to tell fucking 7,000 people a day, like, you can't bring a fucking water through this machine. How many times do we have to shout it? Because if you just watch the machine, every third bag is getting pulled out because someone left my family. They had water bottles the first trip through. I can understand where they're like, why can't you guys, we say it when you walk up, it's on a sign, it's totally common knowledge, and yet 30% of you can't figure this out.
And
I can imagine the frustration. There's no prestige behind it. There's no status. There's no money.
Yeah.
I'm very sympathetic. It's just a match made in hell because it's that plus me. You know.
Yeah.
We had some detours.
Do you want to try your toy out?
Oh, we got a toy.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so yes, there's a newfangled piece of technology next to the floral print lazy boy.
Plugged in, so you're not going to be able to pull it too much. Okay. I got a longer cable coming.
Okay, what does it do? Can I play the drums on it?
Press a button.
I call bullshit. Let me see.
Oh my.
How do I get that louder in my head? Just turn the...
It's pressure sensitive, so...
I call bullshit. Let me see.
Oh my.
That's disgusting. Let me have that.
Are they all Frito?
No.
Our robots welcome at this party. Our robots welcome at this party.
Oh my God, wow.
We could split up your duties.
Wait, what's that?
We could split up your duties.
We could split up your duties.
What's that from?
I don't know. Like divide your duties, I guess.
You know, for all the armchair experts out there.
Oh, okay. I gotta memorize where that one is.
You know, for all the armchair experts out there.
Oh, we're listening, Brad. What is it? What do you want to tell us?
Just want to get in your pants. Just want to get in your pants.
Would you mind if I helped you?
Oh, he's so nice.
We can label them and make it easier, but...
This is so fun.
Oh, my God.
Good job, Rob.
Good job, Rob.
Can we ever interchange?
Yeah, we can, like, make... Like, that turns into a drum pad
Just
also.
want to get in your pants.
Why'd you do that? God.
Holy cow,
That's great.
Rob.
Oh, man, I love it.
Feel free to use those unsynced.
Okay.
I know you guys talk about the patriarchy a lot. It might be nice to have an example of someone who's very vile. You know, you can.
That's
true. Yes, if ever you need someone.
That's true. Okay, anyway, Kate.
Okay.
So she was lovely. We went to All Time.
Oh, you already had a date.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, we hung out.
Oh, fun.
And it was really fun. She's so cool, obviously. Everyone knows that after listening
Very
to this.
chill. That's what I would say about her. She's real
chill, but she's just like easy to talk to, very easy to get along with.
I really enjoyed interviewing her.
Yeah. So, okay, couple things. I have a huge update.
Oh, you do?
Yes.
Oh, boy.
If anyone listened to the E-Banks
Yeah.
episode / fact check, but really episode, we talk about how I had Liberty, a Beanie Baby that is worth $75,000.
Yes.
We didn't know if my mom threw it out, if
Yeah.
she still had it. I asked her to look.
Yeah.
We have it,
You have it.
but
Oh.
it's all stained. And it's
this
covered
really-
in stains.
But hold on. You may recall that Steve Wynn, the hotelier who owns the Wynn Casino and all that,
Yeah.
he has the most epic art collection. He was selling, I want to say it was an enormous Picasso, whatever. It was a $200 million painting.
Okay.
He put his elbow through it because, he has very, very diminished sight. He put his elbow through the painting after it had been sold. It hadn't been delivered
Oh
yet.
my God.
But here's the most miraculous thing. And I'm probably going to get these people will correct me on these numbers, but they're vaguely this. It was like he had sold it for $200 million, puts his elbow through it, sales off. He gets an insurance check for the value of the painting. He then has it restored. That takes a long time, and it costs a fortune. But in the time since it was restored, it had appreciated in value. He ended up selling it for, I want to say, like $400 million, and he had
Wow.
gotten the thing. So it turned out to be a stroke of genius.
Oh.
But anyways, what I'm saying is, if they can restore a fucking Picasso or Rembrandt or wherever this thing was, it might be worth you investing $2,000 or $3,000 into refurbishing and getting this thing in peak selling condition.
Okay.
How's the tag? Because that's the
This
important
is
thing.
the other big
Oh,
problem.
this thing's starting to sound
No tag.
valueless.
Okay.
Okay.
The tag is gone.
Removed.
Yeah,
You
the
removed
tag
it.
is gone. I didn't. My mom didn't
Oh.
do it right.
You can probably make a new tag.
Well,
Well, now it's a forgery.
but listen, no, the reason you know it's not a forgery is because it doesn't have the heart tag on the head, which is why that sucks, right?
Okay.
Like, but those things are
You're supposed to
so.
leave the tag on the head the whole
Yeah,
time?
that's like the whole point. They
And
have
get, like,
little
cases,
protectors
yeah.
for them. But the reason they have to have protectors is because it's so fragile. It's hanging by.
A little piece of plastic.
Yes,
Yeah.
that
Like you'd put a
any of
price
your
tag on.
tags are on. It's
Standard
like,
tag.
To expect this thing to last my whole lifetime, I mean,
It's ridiculous.
It's ridiculous. Anyway, that's gone. But they also have actual tags on their butt, like any stuffy would.
Right.
And so it has
Oh, it
that
has that.
tag.
I thought you were saying that was removed.
No,
Okay.
that's there,
Okay.
and it says its name.
I'll give you $35 for it then. Just all that tag.
35,000?
Bucks. No, just 35.
No. And then I thought in the Steve Wynn thing, I thought you were going to say actually ended up being worth more because it had the hole.
No,
That's where I
it
thought I
was
was going to.
And I
No.
thought that would be cool for this. Like,
just the whole art world had taken off by then.
But do you think maybe like the stain adds something cool to it?
I mean, now we're getting very particular because you are a person of note. So I guess it's your stain. Like if Paul Newman's blood or throw up was on this thing, it'd probably be worth.
What if it was
more.
in the bed that I threw up the hot dog?
There you go.
Or like I brought Liberty with me to the sleepover and
Yeah.
it's not that.
Okay.
It's not that.
It's just a general dirt and grime.
yeah, it looks bad.
It can't be clean. Oh, it looks really bad. What kind of stains are on it?
I'll
Grape
show you what
juice?
it looks
Okay, send me some photos.
I'll bring it to the dry cleaner.
I know, but then what if that depreciates?
Well, it's not any more than the stains do.
We don't know. We don't know. Oh God, it looks so
I
bad.
can't wait to see this piece of shit. Let's see this clunker of a collectible.
Oh my God, I'm sending it to you too, Rob. I mean, you know what's so annoying? It still has the piece of plastic that the tag was on.
Oh, interesting. So just the paper.
Yeah, well, because it's dinky paper.
Yeah, and we're talking 30, 20 years. What are we talking?
Oh, probably
send this to
probably
me?
30. I sent it. You didn't get it?
Let's tell your phone. Okay. I'm looking at it. I'm examining it really closely.
Yours is trying to go
Feet,
through, Rob.
I mean, you're not gonna like it all. What it looks like you wiped your butt on it. It looks like
No!
yes, it looks like poop stains.
Dax.
They're brown.
Okay, what stains aren't brown? Every stain is brown in this life.
Also, he looks like he got shot in the face with whatever stain this is. It's spattered all over his fucking mouth and his
Rob's
cheeks.
I
face
feel like
is
this-
so disgusted.
Well, no. I feel like this should be able to be cleaned.
Oh, really?
Yes,
Yeah. There's nothing.
Some light bleach.
I thought it was like dark blue, and then it like had bleach stains.
No,
Oh.
it's just
This
white
is-
with shit stains
Yeah.
all over it.
This seems washable.
It's not shit stain.
While the piece of plastic is red, I was expecting it to be see-through.
No, red.
Now that I look at how covered in poop it is, I'm gonna
If it's covered in my poop, you better raise
pay
the price.
extra. That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
My child like poop.
This is great. I what a story this is. I hope it has many more chapters because clearly you're going to get it cleaned, right? And then where do you even fucking sell something like this? You go to a website?
Can we sell it on Armchair Expert?
Oh my gosh! No, I don't want some poor armchair who loves you and wants you to. This is like this. This is the apex of your tequila. Someone's going to pay $35,000 for this.
35?
Teddy
No,
bear.
75.
75. You can't, in good conscience, charge 75. It doesn't have the tag and it's covered in fecal matter.
But I used to like care about it.
Yeah, that's sweet. We had a kind of funny joke on F1 this week, which was in qualifying at the last race. Max and Lewis got pole position, and he got pole position by 0.003. 3/1000ths of a second, which they broke down into how the distance that would be. And basically, if they had started at the exact same time, Lewis finished 25 centimeters ahead.
Oh my God.
So then we decided you could start saying how long your penis is in thousandths of seconds.
Oh,
Right, like this guy's hung like a horse. He's 4/1000ths of a second.
wow.
Yeah,
That's pretty
it's
cool.
kind of cool code. I thought you might like that.
It's really good. Okay, so I have to fact check myself.
Okay.
I said that the Tanya Harding, Nancy Kerrigan thing was in 1992. It was in 94.
Okay, 2 years. Did you say it with ultimate conviction?
Yeah.
You did. Like no more debate about this. That's the number.
I mean, we weren't debating, to be fair. I wasn't like, I know
Yeah.
you're wrong. I just said it and everyone believed me.
Yeah. As I'm now believing you when you say it's 94.
Well, I checked it. I have some integrity.
I hope next week you tell me it's 96.
Let me double check.
No, don't
God.
double check. You definitely have it. If you looked it up, you have it. I'm just being funny.
Okay. Now, Jack and Bobby, my favorite show of all time, that Kate was on, was in 2004. 10 years
Post.
after Nancy Kerrigan.
Right.
and-
Everyone's all
and
healed
Tanya
up.
Harding.
Her and Galooly were separated by then.
Oh, yeah.
Galooly. What a name. Galooly
Chimp-
had 0.4
Okay.
He did. I saw the
Oh,
porno.
you saw?
Yeah.
Okay. I looked up the name for chimp children,
Okay.
and there isn't. It's
Babies?
Yeah, infant chimpanzees or baby chimpanzees.
Yeah.
They just use regular human
Well,
words.
because they're 97%
Yeah.
us. They're so clearly little babies, too.
Yeah. She told that sweet story about them. Babies.
Little baby chimps.
Okay, Leonardo DiCaprio, you said wrote backwards and upside down in something else.
Not Leonardo DiCaprio. So I don't think he's making any effort to stay encoded.
Leonardo da Vinci.
Yeah, and not the Mutant Ninja Turtle.
What if I was like, I really can't find anything
Yeah,
about Leonardo
well, you wouldn't have.
DiCaprio writing backwards? No,
You
Leonardo
know who
da
owns
Vinci.
his journal? I already probably said that in the episode.
Yeah, Bill Gates.
Yeah.
He told us that. If you listen to this show, you know it.
I don't listen. I'm
Don't
inside
listen.
of it.
No, but Leonardo da Vinci, he did mirror writing. So he started at the right side of the page and moved to the left. And he invented that. And he wrote in his own shorthand.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't see that he wrote like backwards. I mean, it is writing backwards. But
Yeah.
I thought you meant up. I thought you meant he turned the page
I know he has a
around.
device he had to look through.
Right.
Yeah.
But I don't think he turned the page around. All of this is saying he wrote left-handed, moving right to left.
Oh, that's my dream.
Yeah.
He's left-handed.
Well, no, he's ambidextrous.
Ooh.
Remember we had a big fight about ambidextrous?
Yeah. I doubt there's a topic we haven't had a big dust
Yeah,
up
it's true.
over.
That's true. Okay, she said the second episode of House of Cards she thought was directed by James Foley. Yes, he directed episode 3, and so I'm assuming they shot in order.
Mm-hmm.
So he did direct episode 3. Episode 1 and 2 were Fincher.
Finchy.
During the episode that we recorded, I had watched half of her Black Mirror,
Oh, right.
and I finished that night.
Uh-huh. Your guess wasn't right.
I know,
Yeah.
but I'm still afraid to
It's
say
long enough.
anything. You think so?
Yeah.
Well, let's just say if you haven't watched that mirror,
Stop
stop
right
listening.
now.
Yeah.
Liz said 72 hours.
I know,
for
but I
Barbie.
don't. I'm not going by
No,
Liz's
that's
standards.
extreme.
Yeah,
I'm
that's-
sometimes like 5 days behind Righteous Gemstone. That's my favorite show.
I said we need 2 weeks, but this has been 2 weeks since the show's
Yeah,
been
and also
out.
we're
2
saying
months.
like we're about to give away the ending of the episode, so don't
Yes.
listen.
Okay,
That's
don't
all. That's all
listen.
we're obliged to do.
That's right. Turn it off right now if
And
you
go to
have,
bed. It's too late for you to be out. Get your beanie baby out. Watch out for the shit stains. Try to.
or embrace the
Embrace
shit
them, yeah.
stains, the messiness of being human. Anyway, what an episode! Oh my god!
Yeah, dork.
It's so dark. It gets so dark.
But I also
was
feel
wrong.
like, of course, that is what would happen.
I know. In a way, I was mad I didn't guess it.
I did think she was gonna fall in love with the other version of him. Just so you know that I too thought.
You thought what I thought.
I thought when the other guy visited in his body and he was
Yes.
kind and loving,
Yes.
that she would fall for him.
Well, I thought that and that he would stay. Like she would prefer him to stay.
Right.
And that they would have their own life with the new old
I
guy.
thought he'd come back on the ship and kill the other guy, but I guess you need, I don't know how it works.
Yeah, they need him.
But
I think.
he should have come back and killed the other guy and then got into the thing. That's what I kind of thought was going to happen.
Oh, and then trick her.
Yes. I thought he was going to trick her. I thought they were going to have a scene where you thought it was him and then they were going to cut to him coming out and it was the other guy.
Oh, that's good.
That was another option for
There
them.
were lots of bad options on the table, horrific, traumatic options on the table.
And they chose
then
the most.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I guess we won't say what it is.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Even though everyone stopped listening. That was
Come
afraid.
back.
Come back.
Come
We
back.
fucked up.
Oh my God. Okay.
Is that the only episode of the season you guys watched?
No, I watched the
I
first
watched two
episode.
others.
Did
Did
you
you
watch
watch
the
Joan is Terrible?
Yes.
Did you watch the second episode?
What one is that?
Loch Henry, where they're making a documentary in that Scottish town.
Nope.
No.
That
No,
one's
no.
really, that's my favorite, I think.
Oh,
wow.
I can't wait to watch that then.
Joan was great.
Yeah, Joan was really good.
That first episode
Great
of
trick.
Black Mirror.
Great trick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So I think that's it. Oh, no. We're supposed to real-time fact check something.
Oh, okay. Crap. All right. Let me see if Aaron's available.
Brother?
Shirt off.
Aaron.
Of course, shirt off. Michigan summer, baby.
Hi.
Hi, you're on air.
What's up?
You're on the program.
Are you?
Oh, am I on the air?
You're on the radio.
Oh, on the radio, on the FM.
Riff Rockin' Radio.
Dude, it's like 87 riff rock and roll over degrees in the Motor City.
Oh, golly.
So Monica wants to fact check something I claimed.
Yeah.
And it's going to be tricky because I didn't know she was going to want to do this until just now. And I did have to tell her that some of this data, you and I weren't going to the same school. I think it's fine anyways.
And the reason I'm doing this is because you said, ask Aaron. Ask Aaron on the
well,
fact
great.
check.
Ask him. So I
Okay.
haven't tipped him into anything. Go ahead and ask him.
Okay, Aaron, what would you say happens when redheads
Get
get
in
beat
fights.
up or get in fights?
What, when redheads get into fights?
Yeah.
Fist fights.
Well, I know what happened. They cry.
Oh,
They
good.
usually win.
Yes, and then they turn on a fucking freak gear, right? And get insane.
Wow.
Yeah, I've seen it so many times.
What?
Yeah. I honestly, Monica, I've seen that 5 times growing up. In fact, I never saw a redhead fight where he didn't cry.
Me neither. Oh my God, I can think of at least a half.
Well, on 3, let's talk about. On 3, we'll say the toughest guy who always cried. 3, 2, 1, Billy
Sutton.
Yeah.
Wow. I'm shook. I really did not think this was gonna work out the way it did. And I'm impressed and happy.
I'm so glad you said cry. I didn't forgot that's what I had said in an episode.
Well,
I saw, just real quick, I can't remember the kid's name, but this particular redhead, and he was well, you know what? He was damn near like Billy Sutton, but he was big, muscular, fire red hair and built. And
Oof, scared already just hearing about him.
Yeah, he went to the alternative high school, and he long story short, he put a teacher's head through a window. There was a door, a door with glass on the top.
Yeah.
And the teacher's head went through it, and he was fucking bawling.
Oh my!
I'll never forget what he looked like. He was fucking just crying and had handcuffs on.
And the toughest guy in town.
This is the weirdest thing I've ever heard. Oh my god!
And you know what's weirder is I felt so bad for her. I'm like, you can tell there's so many emotions, so much going on.
Too much to handle.
Well, they are sensitive, hypersensitive to pain
Anesthesia.
medication. Yeah, anesthesia. So it all sort of.
It all kind of fleshes out. I'm sure we'll hear from some redheads that totally disagree.
I can't wait. Yeah.
Whatever they say, Aaron will agree with.
Yeah, you better.
We're not tough. Okay, you're right.
Yeah. Either that or I'm moving.
Well, thank you, brother. You really
He came through
you
for
made
you.
a not liar out of me, whatever that means. You made a truth out of me.
Made a truth right out of you. Cool. Great. Love you.
Love you, brother. You look gorgeous with your top off.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Oh my
Oh
god,
my
he's
what
so
a moment.
cute.
I didn't even know that's what we were trying to find out.
Yeah,
I'd
that was
forgotten.
great.
I guess
Love that.
we can only say that's how it was in Milford Highland, where I grew up.
I mean, I will give it to you. That was surprising.
That was pretty funny.
one gave him a heads up. Okay, I have one more thing to say.
Okay.
It's really important. I learned how to play poker over the summer.
Well, yeah, you told me that, but you didn't tell me under what circumstances.
Anna, Jess, Julia, and I were at we were at a place called Foreman's.
What's that?
It's in the valley. It's really cute. It's outdoor, but enclosed with fans, so it's nice.
Mm-hmm.
But a good, summery outdoor place. And I had cards. And so at first I was like, oh, we should play spades.
Yeah.
And then in the packet of cards, there was the list of the order for poker. Royal flush and all that. And I was like, oh, this is for poker. I've always wanted to learn poker. And Jess was like, I can teach you.
Yeah.
And so he taught us, and then we've been playing. And I love it.
Oh, it's the greatest game.
Yeah. And we just started playing for money.
Oh, you did?
Yeah,
There's a buy-in.
I
And
won.
you won. Good job. I told you, I used to play it 2-3 nights a week for years until I met Kristen.
I know. I want to keep playing. I want to get
I would like to return to playing.
Well, let's play.
House games are so fun.
Well, I'm still learning.
Okay.
And I'm learning the jargon. And I want to learn
the
more
river,
jargon.
the turn.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Does that all ring a bell?
It's ringing a bell.
Uh-huh.
Really fun.
I'm glad you're playing.
I could turn into a gambling addict.
I'd love to see that.
I sure hope so. All right, that's it.
All right. Love you.
you.
Fun fact check. Love being
Yes,
back.
Me too.